What is up, Laredo funny audience? It is your boy Big Mac, the Sports Mac, all day. I'm here chilling as your local Rams fan after a fucking horrible week of football. It was great. I'm not gonna say go fuck yourself, George. It was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was. But there was some shit that went on today. My co-host for one of my co-hosts, because one of my other co-hosts is a Patriots fan. His car was a little deflated. He couldn't make it. That'd be JR. I am a Nazi Riojas. And our boy over here.
Me?
No, asshole. The guy behind you. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna intro me. No, I'll intro myself. George, no nickname needed. Alvarez.
And we have our local yes man over here,
Mr. Steven Sosa.
His sports knowledge goes as far as he knows that you do things for the points.
Yeah. I mean, points are like, they're important.
Yeah, that's how you win games. You know who didn't fucking score any?
Who?
Rams did.
Rams.
You should give him a participation trophy.
Hey, go fuck yourself. That belongs to the Raiders, okay? The Raiders are the participation medal trophy holders.
The Raiders are going to make me some money this week, or they did make me some money this week. I'm happy with that.
You are the luckiest son of a bitch, because there was first off, I did not know that Helen Keller, Stevie Wonder, and Ray Charles were refereeing that game.
Oh, come on.
That was that was the worst fucking pass interference call I have ever seen in my life. If not, it's in contention for it. Because what's his face? Who was the guy? Some dude grabbed a fucking Raider jersey from like 44 yards deep.
I don't know. I did not see that. I was busy watching my Titans get their ass. I was watching the Titans get their ass beat by the Vikings.
Well, they did all right, didn't they?
They did okay, and then it just kind of got away from them. But no, going back to the Raiders game. Okay. I'm gonna rant here real quick. I don't like it when fans will blame one call. It was because of that one play. You know what? You had the lead. Don't let it get to one play.
You have a point.
And you could see it. You could see the momentum shifting. Fourth quarter, you could see the Saints defense was kind of like it was oh shit, like it's getting away, and it got away. Ballsy call though. I love that, going for it on 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion on with literally less than 30 seconds in the game. I love that call.
Those kind of calls are why the Raiders suck, because they're one of those teams that just like, you know what, fuck it. What's the worst thing? However, they're getting a lot more talent. These are going to start being the calls that make them a better team.
I thought it was a good call because, one, you're on the road. You're playing for a tie on the road. That means you're going to hand the ball back to Drew Brees in overtime. That's not a smart play. Even though the Saints defense was faltering and you could see it, they were letting it slip away. That's still Drew Brees, and that's still one of the top quarterbacks of all time. And you're gonna remember the overtime rules being what they are. Each team gets possession. So you're going to give the ball back to Drew Brees in overtime in New Orleans? No thanks. I'll take my chances with the 2-point conversion. Right call.
You only get 2 possessions per if the first possession is a field goal. However, prior to that drive, the defense had stopped the Saints on the last 2 drives clean, cold-cocked. The defense was on point. Like the Raiders' defense was on point. Granted, it's a bit of a maligned Saints team. They no longer have Marquise Colston. Their running game isn't what it used to be with, Ace Deuce and plenty of use McAllister. Even when Reggie Bush was there. That was actually what's his name? Boomer from ESPN came up.
Oh, there you go. Huh.
Boomer, he called him Ace Deuce and plenty of use McAllister. That guy was a beast. Now that's the first. I think they were saying the first Saints running back that the first Saints rookie running back to break 1,000 yards, and they're thinking this kid that they picked up this year is gonna make some noise. But point being, that's the kind of call that the Raiders have been making for like the last 4 years, to where it's games on the line, but what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever.
What's the worst that can happen? We're the Raiders.
Exactly. That place, the Raiders, is legitimately where talent goes to die.
I've never really heard anything about Raiders. Like, there's only like 2 people I know. They're like Raiders Nation, but I'm like, what's the Raiders again? Like,
well, the Raiders used to be a savage team, but
in like 99?
Well, no, in 2002 they went to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
2001 they went to the Super Bowl.
I didn't know that.
No, I'm lying. 2000 was the Rams. 2001 was the Ravens.
I think it was the 2003 season. That was the year. I know that because it was the year.
It was Rams. Rams, Ravens, Patriots, and then the Raiders and the Bucks.
That's what
I think that was 2003
04.
season. That was
0304.
Yeah, that was the year, and the only reason I know is my boy, rest in peace, Mac 9, Steve McNair, co-MVP with Peyton Manning that year, and we were positive we were going to go into the Super Bowl, and then we had to face Rich Gannon and the Raiders, and that was that.
Yeah, Rich Gannon was amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, Rich Gannon was amazing.
Gannon.
Fuck him, I hate Rich
Oh,
Gannon.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's his name. His parents must be weird, man. Like,
No, but they like that year, they were the number one offense, and then we're like, all this talent, fuck you guys. And just let everything slip away from him. And since then, that's been a team where your talent goes to that. Maurice Jones-Drew left the Jags. Left the Jags as a beast. Did jack shit there. Justin Tuck left the Giants. Went to the Raiders. Did jack shit. Michael Crabtree, up until last year, hadn't done shit. So that's.
I like Derek Carr. I think that was for them picking up. What was a 4th rounder?
Yes.
He did not go first round, and he is outperforming first round, chosen quarterbacks. What I liked about the Saints Raiders game, old school Raiders football, like 1960s, 1970s football, 14 penalties, 141 yards, and won the game. You do not win ball games with 14 penalties or 141. No, but that's Raider football. Let's just cheat and beat people down. I love that. Just smash mouth, black and blue. Black and silver. Good job for Las Vegas. Or Oakland. Yeah, right? They're still in Oakland?
They're still in Oakland, but there's talks of them going to Vegas. There's also talks of them moving to, I believe it was San Diego, because the Chargers are wanting out of there. But I believe they're restructuring their contract, and Las Vegas is the front runner to pick the Raiders up.
Yeah.
Good pickup.
San Diego's got issues with the ownership and the stadium, and not wanting to...
it's a very liberal town.
Thanks, Steve-O.
Basically, because what is it called now? Is it still Qualcomm Stadium, Jack Murphy Stadium, whatever it was? I remember it as Jack Murphy Stadium.
I think it's Qualcomm.
That is Qualcomm's is. I'm amazed that that company still exists. Qualcomm's still a thing.
Let me find out real quick.
But no, I remember it as old Jack Murphy Stadium, and old as in it's been there since the '60s. I think it's one of the last cookie cutter stadiums that is still in use. I can't think of any other. Those multi-use, multi-purpose stadiums.
I know of one, the Edward Jones Dome that the Rams left.
Oh yeah, well they don't play football there anymore.
Yeah, I know. Fucking, you see that? I'm gonna fucking go bananas in a minute. It's all you need to know.
Why do you gotta anger him?
I like Angry Fred.
Angry Fred is fun Fred. I'll tell you right now.
But anyways,
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is a savage.
Drew Brees
is a savage.
You know what's funny? I didn't know he was a quarterback. To tell you the truth, I was like, he must be a great running back.
Why are we at Steve-O's house?
We're not at my house. We're at a studio, and it's awesome.
Yeah, we're in a studio. We're in Steve-O's studio.
This is not conducive to talk sports. It's just like.
But,
Drew Brees. He was born in 1979.
Austin, Texas, eh? Where do you go to high school?
Oh, man, I have no idea.
You're looking at his bio, man.
Was I looking at his bio?
What are you looking at?
I thought I was watching porn, but
anyways, so like the Raiders, where talent goes to die, they've been picking it up. What's his name? Jaleel Mack.
I like him.
He's a solid player. That's about it. Because I can't dog on that because of Derek Carr. But what kills me is that family has so much talent, dude. And the Texans straight up pissed that talent away with his brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That boy took, 300 hits and like 150 sacks his first year in the league. Wow. Because fuck my brain, you know what I mean? Like, that is the dumbest shit in the world. And the Texans, the entire time that Derek Carr was there, the Texans were just like, we need receivers, we need running backs, we need tight ends. Fucking O-line.
Yeah, you need protection. You need, always use protection.
Yeah. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Puerto Rican pullout. Don't be a bitch. You know what a Puerto Rican pullout is?
No, I think we're about to figure it out.
Slap a hoe.
Damn.
Puerto Ricans are crazy.
Yeah, that's why they call it a Puerto Rican pullout. You pull out and slap them.
I met a Puerto Rican girl. She slapped me the first time I met her.
Speaking of Puerto Ricans, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about over here.
All right.
The Broncos and the fucking Panthers game. Season opener. What a fucking game.
That game was... I'm not even a football fan, but I was like, whoa, this is close.
A point is close, yes, Steve.
I was impressed. I thought, what's his face? What's his quarterback? Simeon.
Simeon.
Yeah, Marcus Simeon. I thought he excellent play. He didn't do a whole lot of downfield throwing, but he was efficient. He looked poised in the pocket. He looked he didn't look rattled or uncomfortable as other quarterbacks do. And I thought when they were talking about, oh yeah, the Rams are going to go with Simeon and they're going to go ahead and cut Mark Sanchez, and I'm thinking, well, Mark Sanchez sucks, so that makes sense. But damn, why not keep Brock Osweiler? Why did they let him walk? Just pay the man, and then for good reason. Marcus Simeon. Wow, there you go. I
tripped nutsacks. I think it was his first or second throw. He was going to throw a down check to C.J. Anderson. Big defensive tackle in his face, defensive lineman. I can't remember who it was. He cocks back to throw the ball. Dude jumps up and in Brett Favre-esque fashion just cups the bitch down and slings it around the side. Beautiful play. The kid was poised as fuck. And we picked Jared Goff.
Yeah.
We spent a whole lot of draft picks for our third string quarterback.
Yeah. In essence, they wasted a draft pick. You don't. I think if you're drafting someone first or second round, those guys need to play. Third rounder, fourth rounder, all right, they might be a project. You might have to work a little bit. But if you're taking someone first round, they need to be starting.
I 110% disagree if it's a quarterback though, because playing quarterback in college and playing quarterback in the NFL, you have to groom yourself and fix yourself to the point where football starts to slow down. And that's something that a lot of people don't really realize.
Now, true. However, and people will say that the example they'll give is Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre. Yeah, but that was Brett fucking Favre. Mm-hmm. The Rams do not have a Brett fucking Favre on their roster. And you looking at, and now we're going to get into, I know it's X's and O's, X's and bros. Now you talk the business side of it. Jeff Fisher's lobbying for that contract extension. He hasn't gotten it. The way it's going right now, I don't know. Just as an outsider looking at it, it doesn't look like he's going to get that contract extension. And at which point do they cut ties with Jeff Fisher? And I love Jeff Fisher, being a Titans fan, but it's a wasted pick. He's not starting. You need to, in essence, I'm not going to say he's on the hot seat, but there is definitely a pressure to win now, especially if you're looking for a contract extension.
Jeff Fisher is the most average coach to ever not lose his position. The only team he's done anything with are the Titans. And you can't fuck up Eddie George, Mason, and fucking Stephen Air McNair. He was gift wrapped a great team. Since then, he's the reason I'm changing the name of the Rams team. We have the 49ers and then we have the Rams, the 7 and 9ers. Because that's all we got, dude. That's what we are. Like, this team, you can't let go of 4 playmakers and then just shuffle what you got on defense around, not pick anybody up. 5 fucking playmakers, because we let go of Nick Fairley too. You let go of 5 playmakers, you shuffle around what's left on defense, and you're like, this is gonna be great. Now, we've never fucking started Alec Ogletree at middle linebacker. One of our strongest, most consistent fucking safeties in Rodney McLeod Jr. is now an Eagle. Our shutdown corner in Janoris Jenkins just murdered Des Bryant's fucking stats. Chris Long, consistent run stopper, does great for the fucking Patriots. Got, I think, 1 or 2 sacks. James Laurinaitis ended up with a bunch of tackles and a bunch of run stops with the fucking Saints. What did we do for that game? Now, the reason the Rams did so fucking bad in that game to begin with is we don't have any fucking receivers. We don't have a decent O-line, because as much as I like Rob Saffold, if a strong breeze comes by, he tears both his ACLs and his back breaks.
So Jonathan Stewart, what does he play?
Can go fuck himself. I'm talking about the Rams right now.
Oh, okay.
So hold on. Let me just get what I need to say out of this fucking thing. You can't win a fucking game when you play 60 minutes of football and your defense is on the field for 50 minutes of that.
Yeah.
The reason Aaron Donald got fucking ejected from that game wasn't because he pushed a ref or, choked the Niner, even though fuck the Niners. It's because he was fucking frustrated. Because they were on the field for 50 minutes. Now, it says a lot that in 50 minutes of football, they still only let up 4 touchdowns. Like, that defense has everything there for it. We let a lot go. We still have a lot there. But we could have been way better if we had... And what the fuck, dude? You let go of Chris Long and James Laurinaitis. You let go of Ronnie McLeod. You don't re-sign Janoris Jenkins?
Well, that's the best front 4 in football, I think.
That's... Okay, last year, That was the best front seven in football. No doubt about it. I know we mildly talked about it at your house one day.
Yeah.
When we were all drunk and everyone thought I was crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. And everyone said I was crazy, but we had Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, Nick Fairley, Chris Long, Robert Quinn, Willie Hayes, and on the backfield we had Akeem Ayers, James Laurinaitis, Alec Ogletree. Behind them we had Rodney McLeod, we had T.J. McDonald. On the corners we had Janoris Jenkins, Trumaine Johnson.
So why let all those guys walk?
Because he wanted to have a wallet for a fucking quarterback. I was completely okay with us moving up to third, picking up Pax, because he's fast. You have Todd Gurley, you have Tavon Austin, a gadget player with a mobile quarterback. Bro, that's a recipe for success right there. Mm-hmm. Instead we pick up this pocket passer who everyone's like, oh, he's the most NFL ready quarterback, and I knew for a goddamn fact, I was like, he's not going to be NFL ready. I know for a fact he's not going to be NFL ready because that never happens anymore. The game has evolved to the point where you're not going to have success starting a rookie anymore. You're not. You're flat out not.
Todd Gurley plays what position?
He's a running back. He's the best running back in the league.
I just look at his picture. He's black.
He's
but I mean, like
that's debatable, man.
I mean, he has that hair like Predator. So
well, the only reason it's debatable is he's so fucking fast you can't really take a picture of him.
Yeah, I bet so. I mean, like.
But anyways, like they let all these guys go. He doesn't pick anyone up in the offseason. And then we're surprised that we got blown out on Monday Night Football. And what's worse is he gives himself the out. He drafts Goff, and then he says, oh, well, he's not ready. So now you have Kroenke, who's a fucking twat waffle to begin with.
Twat waffle. A great word.
Yeah, Kroenke was a fucking twat waffle, and he's sucking the AIDS out of this guy's dick. He's not going to
wait.
Besides being a twat waffle, I mean, shit.
Okay.
You can suck AIDS?
Todd Gurley, 17 carries for 47 yards.
Yeah.
2.8 yards a carry. What happened?
The O-line. When your quarterback isn't completing anything, you're going to telegraph the run.
Yeah, Case Keenum, not good. 17 of 35, 130 yards. An average of 3.7 yards
per. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you don't
Two
have
picks, sacked twice.
Yeah, when you don't have to worry about the pass, all you got to worry about is the run.
Stack the line. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Stack the line and stuff Todd Gurley.
And that's hard to do. Like he ran up and down the fucking Seattle line last year. He ran up and down Arizona's line last year. Those are two of the better defenses in the NFL. I guarantee you if they would have played the Broncos, he'd have ran up and down the Broncos. Unless, Case Keenum fucking did what Case Keenum did yesterday.
Now, I felt like an idiot during that Rams game because I'm not big into fantasy football. I've started doing it, and we're sitting there having our fantasy draft, and, it's amazing how much it's actually like a real draft. Like, you take it very serious. There's a little bit of deception involved. And in the second round, somebody in our league drafted a defense, and my buddies and I are sitting there going like, wait, what the hell happened? Like, and then one of my close friends says, watch, that person just drafted a defense second round. Now everyone's going to lose their minds and start taking defenses. It's going to happen. And sure enough, it did. And I'm sitting there going, okay, and I'm looking at the Rams D going, that's the one I want. And then boom, 4th round, 5th round, 8th round, 10th, and I'm like, the Rams D is still sitting there. Like, let me go ahead and take who I need on offense. Let me get my parts. And I'm sitting there going, the Rams D is still there. They're still there. They're still there. And then part of me is like, wait, why are they still there? Like, who's on drugs? Like, what's going on that I don't know why they're slipping? And you start to second guess yourself. Just like an actual NFL GM, you're like, oh man, that guy's still on the board. What's wrong with him? Character issues? Why is he still on there? Like, is he injury prone? What don't we know? So I'm sitting there going, oh, the Rams D. And then I'm thinking, why hasn't anyone taken them? Like, should I not take them? And then ultimately I got them and I was happy with it. I was like, here we go. And I'm ready to go. And I was telling you, Fred, oh man, I need this many points to win. I'm fucking confident in the Rams D. And then they go up and give up 28.
Now, granted, that's against San Francisco. San Francisco always plays the Rams fucking difficult as shit. I'm sorry, they play the 7-9ers really, really strong, But fuck, man, fuck, I've never been so disappointed. I DVR'd the game because we had we know.
Yeah, we did the
had
comedy stuff. We working on material.
on material and stuff like
What
that.
did you think of Chip Kelly? You know, his Chip Kelly's offense now in San Francisco. I know it ain't shit in Philly, but
Chip Kelly is a worse version of Jeff Fisher. Chip Kelly is, you know who he reminds me a shit ton of? Rex Ryan. He's loud,
Okay, I like
he's
that.
obnoxious,
Rex Ryan.
doesn't
That's a
do
cool name.
jack shit,
yeah,
but they love him.
he's got that cheeky little grin on his face.
Yeah, and apparently he's racist.
Does every football player have to have an awesome name? Like I don't. Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan is a football name.
That's like the
Like,
wow.
It is.
Yeah. Like if I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, if I'm picking a team, like, hey, we got Rex Ryan, get him, get him. I got it, like Jesus.
You know what else is a really good football name? Paxton Lynch. You know what isn't? Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. No, my favorite football name of all time, former Steeler great, Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a football name.
That guy seems like he hurdles.
The other one that I really liked was Kabir Baja Biamila.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, KGB, dude.
Oh, so that's it. Say it again.
Kabir Baja Biamila.
Wow, that sounds like a freaking
There was
sandwich.
the old Ram Pisatino y Samoa.
Yeah.
He sounds like sandwiches. Too.
I'll take
a key.
I like a good nickname. There's no more good nicknames anymore in any sport, whether it's football or baseball. There's no good nicknames. Everyone just does the initials. RG3. All right, whatever. No. Titans used to have a safety, Tank Williams. Yeah, I want a guy built like a tank. Fuck yeah.
His name's Tank. Let's get him. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody's gonna be Hulk
Steve-O,
awesome.
Steve-O drafting like, you know, an NFL
And if it's fantasy draft, yeah.
Take Tank. What else we got? Rex? Take Rex.
You know who had a good nickname? Calvin Johnson, Megatron.
Megatron, there you go.
Yep.
Beast Mode.
Like I always say, like
Beast mode.
I probably, if I was picking fantasy, it would come down to be like someone's gonna be like, you know, like, oh, Bruce Wayne. Like, are you serious? Like Batman's in.
That's a quarterback. Bruce Wayne's a quarterback. We're taking
I
it.
think we're taking him,
But yeah,
and he'll get us out of stuff.
that's a good question. What other good nicknames are there? The only other good one I can think
So
defensively
many.
is like Revis Island. That's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, no.
Jerry Rice.
I like the old baseball nicknames from like the 40s and 50s and 60s. Guys are like Lefty and, you know, Whitey Ford. Yeah, get out there, Whitey. Like,
Babe Ruth.
yeah, no, Babe.
He's a left slider.
Ted Williams, the Splendid Splinter. Like,
It's funny because back then, like nicknames were like majorly like part of like everything,
absolutely.
Like,
You had good nicknames. Basketball. I know you're a big basketball guy. What good basketball nicknames?
You got the Dream, Akeem Olajuwon.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you got the human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins. I mean, like you can't
I like
can't
how you
go-
put the thrice up too,
Right.
dude.
And of course, my favorite, Mr. Vince Sanity. You know, half man, half amazing. Vince Carter, my favorite basketball.
My favorite basketball nickname, Jerry West. The logo. Like, why the logo? Have you seen the fucking NBA
Yeah,
logo?
it's him.
He's the
Dude,
logo.
I was funny when I first heard it. I was like, that was him? Wow. And then I played the NBA 2K and I played the team. I was like, I'm going to beat this team. They're, you know, what's the big deal? And they beat my ass.
How do you forget the greatest nickname of all basketball?
I don't forget him. It's just that, like, I was
The
like,
Mamba, bro.
oh my God.
Kobe Bryant.
Well, hey, we're not going to talk about the mom.
Sir Ernest, bro. Michael Jordan.
Hey, we know Ernest.
The king.
He saved the Looney Tunes from being, you know, slaves. So
Slaves.
yeah, that's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, that's a true story.
Yeah,
Michael
true
Jordan
story.
he
The
saved he saved
The Looney Tunes are the Monsters.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I don't know if you all saw that.
Yeah, it's true, dude.
Bill Murray was there. That was kind of weird,
The game
but
was called Space Jam, dude. Part 2, there apparently it's happening again with the King.
oh, the LeBron James, yeah.
LeBron
I'm
James.
just hoping that LeBron James, like in the movie, like if he really like comes out, like, you know, they have Kobe Bryant come and help.
Fucking.
Gotta be
No,
awesome.
Kobe Bryant would be like the villain. Like,
You think they would steal his talent?
When the fuck would Kobe Bryant ever pass the ball to anyone?
They're gonna take all the main things. They got Blake Griffin, you got DeAndre Jordan. You know they probably use Dwight Howard for that one. It'd be Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, just to steal their talent.
Yeah, Dwight Howard over fucking DeAndre Jordan. Get the fuck out
I
of here.
wouldn't. I'm just saying, like it's mostly because of popularity.
Well, if the Monstars were dumb, they'd take Dwight Howard over fucking.
I think they
DeAndre.
started with Derrick Rose. That guy's broken all the time. That's gotta be it.
Imagine they get the wrong one. It's JaVale
Dude, have
McGee.
you heard that the Knicks are actually upset with him.
Why?
He's leaving his ACLs all over the locker room.
I don't know, man. I'm hoping that because, like, I mean, New York. That's my dad's team. He's born and raised.
This is the segment where we spin off Steve-O into his own podcast about basketball.
I do love basketball. Like I love
the basket brass.
Right.
I've been my favorite team. Like when I was a kid, the one team that was my favorite was Showtime. Magic Johnson. I remember my dad telling me that he really did Magic. And I was like, the whole time, I was like, well, when's he gonna do it? But he never did it. But and then when but after a while,
he made his eggs disappear.
But I remember like when I got older and I don't know if you ever seen the documentary between him and Larry Bird, but you see all the passes he does, and they were amazing. Like
that's why they call them dimes.
Yeah, like it was just every pass, and there was passes that he would just bounce that people would be like, oh my god, that just happened.
You know what kills me though? As good as all that was, people still underestimate John Stockton.
I can't believe
that motherfucker got legitimately 12, 13 assists a game.
Isn't the all-time leader in assists? Isn't he?
Yeah, and by I think 4 million or something.
I just love his little shorts, man. Damn.
Oh man,
that's a look. They need to bring back.
I was like, where are the Daisy Dukes now these days?
I'm so glad they don't, dude. There'd be so much nut hair all over the fucking court.
The only thing is that they did it a couple times, and every time I see the NBA players, they look uncomfortable. Like they do not
the high socks, dude.
By the way, shouts out to the NBA for inducting Allen Iverson into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
That is my favorite basketball player of all time. That boy turned that position from a big man position to an anybody.
He was one of the best shooting guards I thought
There'd be
about.
No Steve Nash. There'd be no Chris Paul without Allen Iverson. That's a guy.
Allen Iverson was
There'd
the
be no
major,
Chef Curry without Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson was the major ankle breaker of our time, dude. Like that time, dude. You couldn't keep a pace on him.
The king crossover, baby.
Yeah, just boom, boom, and so many players. The greatest, Michael Jordan, couldn't even handle him, dude.
Oh, he snapped those ankles like.
Dude, Michael knew it. And my favorite though, dude. Of course, I think it was the one where he steals the ball, in last seconds, lays it up, boom, wins the game. I forget what game it was, but I just love that. I see that in highlight every time when I watch his highlights.
Yeah, and people don't give him enough credit. There was a year that they went to the finals. She took the shittiest fucking team that's ever been in the NBA finals to the finals. The 76ers. On top of all, fuck that.
Philadelphia, and they all knew they had a shitty team.
Yeah,
because Mutombo was not even in walking motion. He was a zombie.
Samuel fucking Dalembert. Kyle fucking Korver. Get the fuck.
That's the only reason I thought Kyle Korver was a major step up because he is a great 3-point shooter, hands down.
Because of Iverson, but it's not the point.
Allen Iverson is responsible for my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time.
It's all about best practice, man.
Practice. We talking about practice.
But what I'm getting to with him, he took the shittiest team to the finals. But fuck that, because LeBron took a shitty team to the finals. AI took a team to the final. No, he did not.
Oh, you're talking about it.
This team that beat the Warriors was a stacked motherfucker.
Yeah.
The Heat teams that he took were stacked.
Yeah.
The shit teams that he took did not make it.
Yeah.
Iverson took the shittiest Sixers to ever be up against the LA Lakers, who had not lost a playoff. They swept everyone that they went up against, and he took the first two from those sons of bitches.
Shaq and Kobe.
That boy was a beast. People like to dog him because he didn't win a ring. You can't win a ring alone, and he still made half.
He still brought him to the big show. You get to the big show, that's still there. You're there.
Yeah.
Losing is part of it. But you just walk off and that's it. You shrug it off, and next year.
And for all the shit that LeBron gets, you can't blame him for losing 3 of those finals.
Oh no.
Yeah, you fucking play the Spurs. You're not gonna win those finals easily.
I was I remember when they first got to the finals against the Spurs, and that whole time I was like, they're a good team. They were a good team, but the only thing is that the Spurs were just ultimately good because of the fundamentals that the coach brought with them.
I'm not a Spurs fan because of the fan base. The fan base is as toxic as the Cowboys fan base.
It's kind of the same boat, actually.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's super toxic.
The bandwagons to the actual people that are into the Spurs. Yeah,
but the Spurs have got to be one of the classiest, most selfless, most sportsman-like teams to ever play any sport across the board.
I have to give Greg Popovich a lot of credit because whenever they bring in guys, this past year, Aldridge, they know this is the team philosophy. You're gonna play within the team philosophy. No egos, no bullshit, no drama. We're gonna go out there and win championships, and that's the goal every year is to win championships. They have there's these teams, these franchises, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, that seems like they're always in rebuilding mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you have teams like, well, not the last couple of years, but you have teams like the Lakers, like the Spurs, football, the Patriots, the Steelers, in baseball, the Rangers, the Yankees, the Red Sox. They don't rebuild, they just reload.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. That's a beautiful way to put it. Mm-hmm. You just reload.
Yeah.
Because the Spurs, they're losing, they're losing Duncan.
Yeah.
But they've groomed Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. They lost the Admiral, but they fucking picked up Sean Elliott. And they polished what they got. You have too many teams nowadays. The Rams are a big part of that. They try to pick and choose in the draft. They polish someone for a year and then
it's a lot of get rich quick schemes.
Yeah.
Where the Spurs the Spurs are a team that has, these are our guys and we're grooming these guys to be the guys.
When these guys leave,
Yeah. And they start. They're the best, and Popovich is an expert at phasing guys out and phasing guys in.
I love that they brought LaMarcus Aldridge. That was my favorite trade of all for the Spurs. That was just, he is such a dominant player for the when he was in the Trailblazers, and great pick.
Teams like that remind. Okay, I'm a big mixed martial arts fan. I know you all know that. I help run an MMA blog. One of my favorite fighters in mixed martial arts. He retired. His name is Fedor Emelianenko. He had one of the greatest quotes after losing. Now the guy went undefeated for 10 years, and it was up against the cream of the crop. He's fought the most top 10 competition of any heavyweight in all of ever in mixed martial arts. Went undefeated for years. He got caught in a submission and he fell down. And what he said afterwards is what a lot of these franchise teams build on. He gets asked, "What are your thoughts on the loss?" And you can substitute that with what are your thoughts on the season, what are your thoughts on the finals.
Anything of anything.
And he said, "He who does not fall cannot get back up." And that's fucking beautiful.
Wow.
And that is the
Respect.
franchise. Yeah, that's the franchise mentality. The Patriots lose a Super Bowl. Belichick, Brady, everyone, they're not pissed off. Hell, Gronk was partying when they lost to the Giants this last time. He was,
if I was an NFL player with all that money,
it was one of those moments where they don't dwell on it. They learn from it and they get better. As much as I hate the Patriots, I hate that fucking team. Mm-hmm. I hate all of Boston because of the Patriots. But my God, dude,
we're not going to Boston. No.
I've taken longer flights specifically to not land in Boston when I fly to New York. I refuse to go to Boston ever. But teams like that, the Spurs, the Patriots, those dynasty teams. Fuck the Cowboys because
Pittsburgh Steelers, they're in the race every year. Sixburg.
Yeah, Blitzburg. Those teams legitimately keep what they've got, what they've groomed, and give them more to grow.
Yeah. Versus
he's a free agent, I want him now, and this is what we're building on now that I've picked this guy up versus the guys that you've been cultivating. Mm-hmm. And the Rams, they used to be a big part of that, and then fucking Jeff Fisher joins my fucking team and decides we're just not picking anybody up. If he stays on my team in 3 years, we're going to have 2 outside linebackers and a quarterback. That's my whole goddamn team. And we're still going to be over the salary cap. I fucking hate him so much.
Goff is still going to be sitting on the bench.
Oh, I'm going to be so pissed when he doesn't start next year, too. Anyways, we were talking about the Broncos and the Patriots and the Panthers.
I know, we went on a little rant.
Yeah, that was a solid game, a solid opener. Do you think the headhunting was illegal? On Cam?
On Cam. Yes, and I will say this. I'm not going to drag race into it. I'm just going to say that Cam is a very demonstrative, very exuberant type of quarterback.
Yes.
And I do think the NFL officiates things differently based on who you are.
Yes,
how many times do you see Tom Brady get hit, look for a flag, tell the ref, hey, where's the flag? And the ref's like, oh, you know what? You were right. Boom, there it goes. The league will protect the Tom Bradys and the Peyton Mannings, and I don't want to give a shit about Tony Romo.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is another that they'll take care of. Aaron Rodgers, Roethlisberger, those guys who are the the money makers, the ones who get the most endorsements, the ones that look pretty doing direct TV commercials. Eli Manning's another one that they'll protect. Guys like Cam, who are a little bit anti-establishment, kind of push back a little bit. Fuck it, let him get hit.
Mm-hmm. Now, the hit that everyone's talking about with Cam is that one play where he got hit in the head and he threw the ball. It didn't make the line of scrimmage. It's intentional grounding. And everyone's like, well, they threw the flag. Fuck the flag. Brady, Manning, Breeze, Roethlisberger get hit that way. And I guarantee you, homie that did the hitting is sitting out the next 2-3
Yeah.
games.
Oh yeah. No, he's getting a fine from the league on Tuesday, and he's gonna get some time off as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to sit at home, and I guarantee you the fine that they'd give him for those hits, the exact same hit, would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times bigger than what he's gonna get against Cam. I'd be surprised if he gets $250,000. I'd be shocked as shit if he gets that. And that's part. I think a lot of it is because of the size of him, though. Because Cam is bigger than linebackers.
He's a big dude, yeah, and so it's you associate the bigger guys, him and the Ben Roethlisbergers, these huge dudes, with they're a little bit more physical. They're a little bit more. They can. It's almost like the refs are going, well, he can take the hit. So I mean,
but that makes it so much worse because look at the size of him. Cam is a big guy.
Ultimately, what it is you have referees making subjective calls as opposed to objective calls. As opposed to this is the rule, let's stick to the rule. No, they're sitting there going, well, I mean, it's a little shady there. He can probably handle that one.
Very well put, actually. Subjective versus objective.
Breeze being a little guy, oh yeah, throw the flag out there. Russell Wilson, he's a little guy, throw the flag out there.
And it's funny because that didn't used to be the case when Breeze was in San Diego. Before he was an established franchise guy, they didn't give a fuck when he got hit. They don't give a shit. Bro, Case Keenum got knocked out unconscious in the game, and
there is something to say about in sports seniority and getting the quote unquote benefit of the doubt. I know a different sport. I heard a story. I don't remember who it was. That was I don't remember who was playing, but it was a rookie batter, and he was batting against Greg Maddux when Greg Maddux was at his. He wasn't at his peak. He was already past it a little bit, like he's kind of on the way down. And rookie batter comes up, and Maddox had a call that was questionable. The umpire, strike one. The guy looks back and turns. He goes, "That was a strike," and the umpire replied with, "That man's a Hall of Famer on the mound. He gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
You're a rookie. Get back in the box.
Take your lumps."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there is something to say about once you get that respect and you've got success in the league, yeah, you do get a little bit of preferential treatment. Maybe it's deserved, maybe it's not deserved. That's for you to decide. That's your own opinion. In my case, I have no problem with veteran guys getting the benefit of the doubt or getting the extra call. My problem is when it comes to safety. The league is stressing safety, and you get a guy, and especially the shots to the head with concussions and all the drama going on the last couple of years. And to put a player in jeopardy because you're not giving him the benefit of the doubt, or for whatever reason you're not making the call, maybe you blew it, whatever. But when you're putting careers and health at risk, that bothers me.
Yeah, it's what we saw with Case Keenum. That was one of the biggest reasons why they have that new. They're looking at the headshots differently is because of what happened to Case Keenum last year with the Rams. Mm-hmm. He took a bad hit. And it wasn't even so much that it was a bad hit. The way he landed was bad. The second he hit the floor, he picked his hands up to his helmet and he grabbed his head. And every one of us knew that watched that game was like, that guy has a concussion. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who it was that tried to pick him up. He sat up, got up to a knee, and fell right back down. Obviously, he's dizzy as shit. Obviously, he's not seeing straight. He's not thinking straight. They sit him down and play him the very next game.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That issue was heavily talked about. Mm-hmm. What amazes me with the league is the kind of way they kind of turn things around. They kind of change things a little bit. They change their stance. Everyone remembers that commercial a few years back, the football game, and the quarterback gets knocked out, and they come up to him, and you can tell he's concussed, and he goes. Do you know who you are? He goes, oh, I'm the quarterback. Do you know who I am? You're the coach. Oh, no, he goes, do you know where you are? I'm at the stadium. Do you know who I am? You're the coach. Do you know who you are? And he's like, I'm Batman. Snickers, whatever it was, like something. It was something fun to make fun of. Oh, he just got his bell rung, and now they take it so seriously with these head trauma specialists. The guys, what are they? The ones in the blue shirts that they're wearing. Yeah, they're independent. They're not affiliated with a team. They're NFL assigned doctors that are there to rule on concussion issues. Is it good that they're doing that? Yes. Do they need to be making the calls on the field to protect the quarterbacks before you need the guys in the blue shirts? Absolutely.
100%.
Now, the other thing I was going to say about that, and I lost my train of thought because I went off on a little rant there. I don't know.
I'll say this to end my thoughts on it. Yeah, CTE is a big thing. It sucks when people, have, the constant concussions and all that noise. Every brain is just is equal to the next one. Yeah. No one's brain weighs more or is more valuable than the other. As much as I'm all about safety, there's nothing that we're going to be able to do to change the game to where it's not going to be as violent as it is now.
It's always going to be violent. It's something you accept.
Yeah, it's about hits. It's about how you hit, how
bringing
hard
the person
you hit,
down,
and with somebody like Cam, how you break them.
Yeah.
Because you've got to break a player. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be completely honest. I've sat there, and I will say this, and it's not going to be a popular take on this, but just my personal opinion. As a football fan watching a game, I've said I love smash mouth defense. I love good physical football. I don't like, the 45-42 shootout. No, I like down and dirty, 16-13, get in each other's faces. Defense. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships.
100% agree.
Now, I've said myself, you know what? I'll take a late hit on a quarterback. I'll take a 15-yard penalty if it means that guy is out for the rest of the game. Yeah. And it's a mean thing to say, but that's the nature of the game. It's a violent game played by violent men, and I completely agree. And I'm thinking, yeah, if you can tackle a quarterback, that's good. If you can hurt him, that's better.
That's better. That's a mentality that's instilled in everyone. I played sports in high school. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. But what I was getting at with you can't take the violence out of the game.
No.
If you can't take the violence out of the game, the only thing you can do is make sure the penalties are completely clear and fair, completely across the board. So if you see that hit on Brady, you have to call that on Cam.
Yep,
if you're going to suspend a guy for the hit on Brady, you better suspend him for the hit on Cam. Mm-hmm. And the fact, bless you, Steve-O, you bastard.
What are you talking about? I didn't sneeze. I just had an epiphany.
So when we see this punishment come down, this is where you're going to start to see a lot more of the shit that's causing people to get mad at the NFL and why the hashtag boycott the NFL and all that other shit's coming on. Yeah. Well, granted, that's got a lot to do with the Colin Kaepernick situation, which I'm not going to talk about on this podcast.
No, that one we're going to stay away from.
Yeah, but with somebody like Cam, and it's hard nowadays, especially with the rules. Somebody like Cam is, if you give Cam momentum,
yes,
you're done. You're flat. That's it. He's going to put up 30, 40, 50 points on you, and it's not going to matter. You have to stop him, which is why I love the way Denver played. Now, granted, fair play to the Carolina Panthers. They played this game perfectly. That defense is just scary.
Yeah.
You could not have put up a better game plan to play against the Broncos. One thing they did stop doing in the second half, which I think was a big mistake, is they stopped putting the chipper on Von Miller. Because in the first half, they chipped them all game. Mm-hmm. And it isn't...
You have to do that.
It isn't something big. It's just make sure you put a body on him just to deflect him a smidge. If you can get him an inch off his game plan.
Half a second, 3/4 of a second in the NFL with that speed of play, that little bit of hesitation, that less than 1 second, it will open a lane. It'll open a hole. That puts points up on the board. Putting a body on him puts points up on boards.
And that brings me back to a point I said earlier in this podcast. That is why rookie quarterbacks are not supposed to be a thing in the NFL. You need to slow the game down. When you can start seeing that 0.35 seconds. That's when you're ready for the NFL, which is why I think what happened in Green Bay was perfect. Aaron Rodgers sat out 2 or 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Came in, oh my God, it was ridiculous. Now everyone loved, and you said the same thing, which is what I said also. I was like, well, he had Brett Favre in front of him. That's one thing, sure, whatever. But I guarantee you, Brett Favre's out there and you put Aaron Rodgers starting, we don't have the same Aaron Rodgers nowadays.
No, we don't. Absolutely.
Which is why I'm very okay with the fact that we're sitting Goff. I hate that we picked him up, that it cost us so much.
So much, yeah. Now, we talked about speed of the game, and that was something I wanted to touch on. I heard an interview with Boomer Esiason, and they asked him, when did you know it was time to retire? And he said, when Ray Lewis came into the league. Because the game sped up more.
Yep.
He goes, he remembers playing the Ravens, and he dropped back for a pass, and he goes, as a quarterback, you have a clock in your head of how much time do you have before you need to get rid of that ball. He goes, and that was a Pro Bowl quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback, and he's dropping back, and he goes, he sees Lewis, and he goes, okay, I have this many seconds before one, boom, brought him down. And he was like, okay, no, the game's too fast for me. It passed me by in terms of speed.
Yep.
So to ask that's a veteran quarterback, a Pro Bowl quarterback. Now, if you're going to have a rookie go in there and try and do that, make those reads against guys who are scary fast and super physical, like in the 80s, Lawrence Taylor changed the game because he was the only Lawrence Taylor. Now, every single team has got a Lawrence Taylor, a guy who's just a beast. They're too fast, they're too strong, and to ask a rookie to go in there and, I'll revise my statement. I think you can start a rookie quarterback as long as you can protect him, and we'll circle all the way back to David Carr. That was why no success. You can't keep him on his feet. Now, if you're going to have a rookie quarterback starting, you better have a good goddamn offensive line. You better have tight ends and running backs that know how to block and protect that passer. You need to have almost a perfect situation to be able to get a rookie quarterback starting.
But if you're having to start a rookie, you don't have that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is
you're
why,
drafted. Yeah.
Which is why no rookie should be starting. At least in my opinion, no rookie should be starting in the NFL. Which I kind of have to retract that statement too. Did you watch the Cowboys and the Giants?
I caught bits of it. I was flipping back between the Seahawks game and the Cowboys game, but I like Dak Prescott.
Dak is so good for a rookie, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Giants fan. I like the Giants. Kurt Warner played. No, I'm lying. It was what's his face? Fuck. There was an ex-Ram that went to the Giants.
Kurt Warner.
Was it Kurt Warner?
Yeah, Kurt Warner.
Fuck, dude, I can't even remember. If you have another beer, I would totally take one.
Kurt Warner.
If you type in Kurt Warner, you're either going to catch Rams quarterback or Seahawks running back in the 80s.
Make that greatest Rams quarterback to ever play the game. I love Mark Bulger, but Kurt Warner, bro. Jesus Christ. Yeah, of course, it's beer. What kind of a fucking face was that?
You got Keystone? I'll drink Keystone.
I'll drink fucking Tecate. I don't give a shit. But anyways.
Tequila.
Yeah,
this podcast took a turn.
Do you have whiskey? I'll take whiskey. Shit.
God, dude, I got Bucanas if you don't want it.
You can.
Dude, I'll take that. I'm
down.
All right, we're going to get hammered. We go back to NBA for a little bit.
Okay, let me just roll. I tuned into Giants games to watch Eli play because I don't care what you say, he's an amazing quarterback. I tune in to see. I love Victor Cruz.
The Giants are basically, it's either it's a feast or famine with the Giants. Either they're gonna suck dick and not make the playoffs, or if they make the playoffs, they're winning the Super Bowl. That's it. Like there is no middle ground. Either they don't make it at all, or they catch fire, and it always seems to be, oh no, the Giants, I think they don't have it anymore. The receivers are not that good. Eli isn't performing the way he used to be, and then boom, they catch fire, win the Super Bowl. So feast or famine with the Giants.
Yeah, well, that's yes and no, because people love to talk shit about it, well, especially here where we're from. We're from Laredo. We've got a lot of Cowboys fans. Giants are in that division. Fuck the Giants. You know that's how that goes. But whatever.
Fuck the Giants.
They love to make fun of Eli Manning and all this shit. Eli's done something that Romo can't do, and that's win 2 Super Bowls. He didn't exactly have the greatest receivers in the league. He had that 1 year with Plaxico. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I believe he had a Monty Toomer, and I can't fucking remember the name of David Tyree. Now, David Tyree, fun fact, did y'all know went fucking crazy? Huh? Did y'all know David Tyree went crazy?
Shut up! What happened?
Who? David Tyree. Do you watch
that
the Super Bowl?
circus catch?
Helmet catch.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what happened, All I remember was that he went to an insane asylum.
What was his name?
Shut up.
Yeah, David Tyree.
David
Now,
Tyree.
this is where I'm going to be really professional and say that you all got a vamp because I got to take a piss. Steve, where's your restroom?
Oh,
in the studio.
In the studio, it's actually first door to the left.
All right, vamp, motherfucker.
Actually, what I will
David
do
Tree?
No.
Football wide receiver?
David Tyree. He had one of the greatest catches in NFL history. It was in the Super Bowl, too. Against the Patriots, and literally the ball got pinned against his helmet. David Tyree, yeah, that's him. What do you have on David Tyree goes to an insane asylum? I want to know about that.
I think that's something you got to think of because I mean he went crazy, but I mean what kind of crazy was it? And like because insane asylums are like
pretty crazy.
I was gonna say like either you're there for like oh my god I can't feel my feet I don't even it's like the trolls are coming for me. I just think that like if you're there for some reason, that's got to be something. Hope it wasn't like anything crazy, but still.
Let's see. No, there's a bunch of stuff I'm not going to read because for out of respect for David Tyree.
Oh, of course. That just still sucks. Though. I mean, like, wasn't like a straitjacket kind of thing, was it?
I'm looking for information here on David Tyree, and I don't see anything. Named player of director of player development for the New York Giants. I don't see anything about him going to any type of insane asylum. So in the meantime, we'll go back to Steve-O's basketball segment.
I love basketball. If anything, like this year, I'm actually like all the different trades that happen these days. I mean, like I'm still hoping that that Derrick Rose keeps healthy. If Derrick Rose stays healthy for New York has J.K. Noah and the new white kid, I forget his name. I really don't know it, but he's good at threes and he's a very tall kid. So I'm just saying, New York has a chance.
That seems like it's something very important to have in basketball.
Yes.
Be a very tall kid and be good at threes.
As long as you can shoot threes, I mean, you can be tall all you want. I forget his name though. You know the white kid that's in the Knicks.
Pokrayets or something.
Pokrayets, right? I know he's like a Russian or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. But
He's a great shooter though.
What the fuck is his name?
Fudge.
You know who was not a good tree? Oh, never mind. I fucking
Tree?
Yeah, I screwed that joke up.
Who was a trick?
Never mind.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say someone who was not a great shooter, Plaxico Burress.
Actually, my favorite worst player of all time,
He
Scalabrine.
has no idea what.
No.
Plaxico Burress won the Super Bowl and then proceeded to shoot himself in the foot and go to jail for it.
Shut up. How do you win a Super Bowl and shoot yourself in the foot?
Ask Plaxico Burress.
Yeah.
Wow, like seriously, you won the championship. He's like, all right, now I'm gonna get my fucking gun.
No,
and
he went to the club. He was at the club and like dancing or some shit, and then just
and he's like Yosemite Samming everywhere, like.
That's how I would celebrate if I won the Super Bowl.
For
Just
real.
shoot guns in the air.
That's the pink.
Oh,
America.
that's all you have to say. You say Yosemite Sam because Yosemite Sam he would shoot himself up the ground, like that was his thing.
True.
He would shoot himself off the ground. He was so mad, but it's like, dude, you're shooting the ground and lifting yourself. How badass are those bullets?
All I know is I want one of those guns. It's Porzingis.
Yeah.
Porzingis.
It's Kristaps Porzingis is the name of the Knicks player.
Oh my god.
Pokrayets, I was close.
I'm saying that.
So we're talking Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but okay. I've never seen somebody that calm, dude.
He looks very poised, and that it's okay. Now he plays well if he continues playing like that. What does Dallas do when Romo comes back?
You give Romo a spot, no doubt about it. As good as Prescott is, Dak is doing,
You automatically.
you have to give it to Romo. Romo's your proven commodity. You don't give your season to a non-proven commodity.
I get you. I mean,
If say through
is anybody? He's a notorious.
say Romo comes back week 9 and Dak Prescott has got a winning record. What do you
Time
do?
out. He's a notorious what?
He's notorious for, besides injury, also just always turning over the ball.
The reason Romo turns the ball over is because he's never had any help. He's got shitty running backs, except for DeMarco Murray, who everyone was in love with until he went to the Eagles and everyone realized he was a product of the offensive line. He's never had good receivers, and everyone loves to talk about Keyshawn Johnson, who was average at best, Terrence Williams, who was average at best, Dez Bryant, who drops more passes than he catches, and he's injury prone. He's got the one good weapon he's had is fucking.
Okay.
Fuck, what's his name?
So, what do you think he would go to another team?
Hold up, what's his name? the tight end. Jason Witten.
Jason Witten.
That's the only guy.
Major guy.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people talk about him.
And he's great, but you can't throw him the ball 30 times a game. Their defense has never been there to help them out. Their offensive line was hit or miss for a long time. So him losing a lot of those playoff games wasn't really on him so much as it was the rest of his team. Tony Romo was the equivalency of an NFL Allen Iverson, who he's had shit to play with, and he still finds a way to get you to the playoffs.
Okay.
So you were saying.
Talking real quick, Dallas and the Giants. 2019 1-point game, right? 1 point loss for the Cowboys.
Great game.
Great game. What amazed me, Ezekiel Elliott, completely ineffective.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that boy.
20 carries, 51 yards, 2.5 yards a carry. He did have a touchdown, but his longest run was only 8 yards. So, with Elliott not producing, he was supposed to be the big thing, and Cowboy fans lost their fucking minds over Ezekiel Elliott.
He's the new LaDainian Tomlinson.
The offensive line, they're so good. The offensive line is so good. We're pissing off so many Cowboy fans right now. The offensive line is so good. I could run behind that offensive line. Now imagine with Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, folks, stats don't lie. 20 carries, 51 yards, 2.5 yards a carry. He did have a touchdown, but his long was only 8. So
that touchdown was a 3-yard run, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying his longest run period was 8 yards.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say, and I will say this about Dak Prescott, I'm impressed because with Elliott not producing, they had Dak Prescott sling the ball 45 times, 25 of 45. Now, it's not a great completion percentage, but he was slinging it 45 times. He put up 227 yards, no touchdowns, but no turnovers.
And Mr. Big Bad X Des Bryant, 1 catch.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott threw that ball that many times against a good secondary because DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, and Janoris Jenkins, no fucking joke.
Now what I'm looking at the stats right here, and what that tells me is good decision making by Dak Prescott because he knew that Dallas was going to be either equally matched or overmatched with those receivers going against the Giants secondary.
Yeah.
So you get Des Bryant, 1 catch, 8 yards.
Yep.
Terrence Williams, and that's a whole different. We'll get to that right now. Terrence Williams, 3 receptions, 34 yards, but he hit Witten and Cole Beasley. Witten for 9 catches, Beasley with 8, which tells me that Dak Prescott is making outside reads and knowing, don't go there, that's a problem, work on the inside, find my outlets, find my safety valves.
Now, this is where I'm going to say, fuck Ezekiel Elliott. You cannot blame what he did on the offensive line when Dak Prescott had enough time to see route 1, check down, see route 2, check down, see route 3, check down, and see tight end. That offensive line is a beast of an offense. The Legion of Room is no joke. Ezekiel Elliott is not a modern-day LaDainian Tomlinson. Ezekiel Elliott is a washed-up version of Reggie Bush. Mark my fucking words.
Elliott, 20 carries, 51 yards, 2.5 yards a carry. You're looking at, okay, now we're talking the offensive line. Alfred Morris, 7 carries for 35. He averaged 5, long of 13. Mm-hmm. That offensive line was making some holes. Elliott could not find them.
It was.
Secondly, Dak Prescott, how many sacks?
0.
He was not brought down for a sack. That tells me the offensive line is as good as advertised, and Elliott, completely overrated. He shit the bed.
Oh, yeah. Ezekiel Elliott isn't all that good. But this goes back to what I've said initially, which is rookies shouldn't be starting. Dak Prescott isn't what you'd consider the standard. That's the exception.
Yeah.
But he's the exception because he's got something protecting. He's got a fucking wall. Mm-hmm. The Legion of Room is probably one of the best offensive lines I've ever seen in football. It's ridiculous how good that is. Everyone loves to talk about, the skills positions, receivers, running backs, fucking tight ends, safeties, linebackers, all this fast shit, this fast mobile stuff. No one loves to talk about the offensive line. And no one ever, when you play Madden, you play pick a career, ain't a single goddamn person pick center, tackle, or guard. Ain't a single one of us. I don't either. But without those 5 guys, you suck dicks.
Yep.
All of the dicks. It's an omnidirectional dick suck fest, and you can't get away from that. That's just how it goes.
Klingon.
Do you see what we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh yeah, no. I for some reason I'm looking up Klingons. I don't even.
Now,
know
end of the game, Terrence Williams. You got to get out of bounds. You have to get out of bounds.
I don't even. I was so happy that within 4 minutes of him doing that, the crying Jordan face was on him.
Yes.
I've never laughed that hard in my life.
It's weird how that was like a major like emoji for everybody now these days.
It's not an emoji, it's a meme.
Yeah.
I like calling it an emoji.
You like being wrong.
Every time.
But Williams, you need to get out of bounds. You need to know where the sideline is. If you're making a catch, you need to take a right and head for the sidelines instead of cutting a left and headed upfield. Dumb decision. Dumb mistake. And it was horrible. It was horrible. Now, I am going to offend a lot of listeners right now by saying what we just did, Fred, right now, you and me talking Cowboy football, 90% of Cowboy fans do not know how to talk football. They don't know shit about strategy. They don't know shit about stats. They don't know shit about philosophy or schemes or anything like that. All they do is why is it your favorite team? Because man, the Super Bowl. Like no, you're talking shit that happened in the 90s.
Championship.
But they're not about the stats.
The average, and I've railed against Cowboy fans on my Facebook. My problem with Cowboy fans, and don't get me wrong, there are some very knowledgeable Cowboy fans, but for the most part, an average Cowboy fan cannot sit here and talk X's and O's and figure out why a game happened the way it was. All their go-to is Tony Romo was hurt and the referee screwed us over, and that is a bunch of bullshit.
I can go to 90% of Cowboy fans and say this exact words. How do you attack a cover 2?
They don't know.
No. George, how do you attack a cover 2?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm being a Cowboy fan right now. I'm on a Dak Prescott love fest, and I'm just going to say, how do you attack a cover 2? With 5 championship rings. That's how.
Okay, Cowboys fans, I'm going to tell you real quick. How do you attack a cover 2? You attack a cover 2 by going slant in the middle. A cover 2 is when you've got 2 safeties or 2 defensive backs up top. That's what you're covering with. So you can't go to the outside because you've got safety help.
Yep.
You can't go to the middle because you've got safety help. So you got to come close,
Yep.
and you got to go middle.
You need to find a space where you can get someone in the middle, look for a slant. You got to find for a tight end who can find a soft spot in the cushion, just an area where there's no one around him, and just turn around and the way you used to see it in Madden.
Yep.
You're playing Madden, and all of a sudden your tight end would turn around and wave at you. I'm right fucking here. Give me the goddamn ball. Someplace right in between a slow linebacker and maybe a corner who's overcommitting to one certain area of the field. Richard Sherman plays one side of the field, and that's all he does. He's not good at man coverage. He's good in cover 2. He's zone coverage. That's what you do. And basically, the breakdown of cover 2 is it's zone coverage.
Yep.
You guard this area of the field, but guarding one area of the field, Fred, you cover that little area right there. Well, Fred, maybe you're not too good on your right side. Maybe you can't cut and break to your right. So that's where we're going. We're gonna hit that slant on the inside.
Yep.
If someone has trouble covering the outside, maybe they turn their back. They get turned around when they're they cheat towards a certain area. Boom, cut that out. You can run those option routes where give the receiver the option of, based on what he's reading from a DB, cut in, cut out, hit it straight, whatever. Let him make a choice, and it'll be the right choice. And just as a quarterback, you need to be on him and sit there and go, that he turned this way, I've got him. And that quarterback can do so many things with a look. With his eyes, he can shift his gaze a little bit. That DB will overcommit to one area, and then boom, you're sitting there with a goddamn tight end or slot receiver just sitting there waving at you, going, "Throw me, give me the goddamn ball."
Now, the reason I bring up cover 2, the reason why I love Eli Manning so much, you cannot run a cover 2 against Giants. You can't. Eli Manning is too quick with the release. He's too precise with his passes, and Odell Beckham has a 45-foot radius where he's gonna catch that bitch. That guy is
These guys are
fucking
nutty, man.
He's ridiculous. Odell Beckham, in my opinion, has made a conscious decision to never catch a ball with one hand.
There are receivers who, for them to catch it, you need to put it in between the numbers. Odell Beckham, just get it near him.
Yeah.
Get it near him, and he'll come down with the ball.
I'm going to make a bold comparison, but tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Odell Beckham remind you of a Chris Carter?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's amazing. I've never seen a receiver that way. Mm-hmm. He's fast as fuck. The only thing I'll give it, Steelers receiver, Antonio Brown. Oh, yeah. In my opinion, Antonio Brown is a little bit better than Odell because Antonio Brown was a punt returner for a long time. So his start-stop is brilliant. He can stop on a dime and book it on a dime. Odell has a little bit of a harder time giving that stop to the button hook or the stop to the break route. But other than that, Odell is his ability to catch a ball. Him and DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans are some of the best-handed receivers I have ever seen in my
Can't fucking
life.
stand DeAndre Hopkins because he's a goddamn Texan, but I respect it because he's really damn good. DeAndre Hopkins is.
And you know who else is catching up with that? Is Jarvis Landry from the Dolphins.
I like Jarvis Landry. I thought about taking him on a fantasy draft. Ultimately, someone else stole him like 2 picks in front of me. And I was like, son of a bitch. But no, and yeah, Jarvis Landry, Antonio Brown. I think Antonio Brown, best receiver in the game right now.
Yeah, I will say that because Megatron left.
Yeah,
But Megatron was
that spot opened up. And
what about Fitzgerald? Because Fitz is still performing at a really high level.
it's amazing how he can be that consistent over that many years. Okay, in your opinion, Larry Fitzgerald, Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. For the longest time, they didn't have a good quarterback there.
That is how you know if someone's a Hall of Famer. If I ask you so and so Hall of Famer and you go, if you have to think about it, he's not a Hall of Famer. Larry Fitzgerald, absolutely, he's a
110%. Much as I hate Randy Moss, 100% Hall of Famer. 110%. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Wes Welker.
That's one I'm not sure about.
Wes Welker did great things in Miami, did great things in New England, did great things in Denver. Did terrible in St. Louis, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but I think the problem with receivers is you really have to look at numbers. I don't know what his stats are off the top of my head, but
his stats aren't bad. He was a slot receiver.
But what I will say is, greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice, hands down. Now, for me, and a lot of people will say number 2, Tim Brown, and it took the league years to put that man in the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think I gotta put Chris Carter ahead of Tim Brown.
Okay, let's do a fun little game here. Let me look up Chris Carter's.
I'll look up Tim Brown.
Chris Carter's career stats. You look up Tim Brown's career stats, and let's play here real quick.
Yeah,
Plays so well.
Chris Carter was one of the greatest receivers in my opinion. Jesus. Receptions for Tim Brown, 1,094. Receiving yards, 14,934. 105 touchdowns.
How many receptions for
1,094.
Chris Carter? 1,101.
Wow.
How many yards?
14,934.
Chris Carter, 13,899.
All-purpose yards?
Hold on. This is a little weird.
I seem to be verklempt.
Yeah. This is where I'm supposed to vamp, but I was vaping, so I apologize.
And vamping's not gay, but
All-purpose yards.
Vamping or vaping?
yeah, you give both. It's
Mother.
still kind of gay.
All-purpose yards were only 40 yards more than his actual receiving stats.
Well, fuck my life. Tim Brown, receiving yards is 14,000. All-purpose yards, 19,683.
Yeah, no.
And the touchdowns?
130.
105.
They're comparable.
They're very
That's a tough number too.
They're very comparable. It's. The reason that
Jerry Rice is number 1 easily.
Yeah.
I think what we just discovered is Tim Brown and Chris Carter are 2A and 2B.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the reason that I like Chris Carter so much is because Chris Carter picked up all of those stats most of his career dealing with somebody that could catch just as well as he could in Randy Moss.
Yes.
So he was he made himself a number 1 option. That's I have a ton of respect for that guy. It fucking killed me when he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
It pissed me off to no end. What about Torrey Holt?
I think he is a Hall of Famer.
I think so too. Not just because I'm a Rams fan. He was so good.
Because it was one of those things where being a Titans fan and seeing them that Super Bowl year and just that whole Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, it just Jesus, That wasn't even fair. Greatest show on earth. Like, they got a nickname. You
Yes,
don't
they
get a
did.
nickname unless you're doing something great.
And that year it was Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Azahir Hakim, and Ricky Pearl.
That's good.
Jesus, man.
That's 4 solid dudes.
Those on any team are number one.
Are number ones. That's exactly what I was going to say. On any other team, those guys are all number ones.
I think the only one you could make a case for not being a number one would be Azahir Hakim, and that boy just made himself one, you know? And but they wouldn't have been that without Kurt Warner and the franchise, Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk, yeah.
Marshall Faulk was a monster. I cannot believe some people were like, why is he a Hall of Famer? Get the fuck out of here.
No.
The franchise? Come on. There's only one other person I know that's been called the franchise, and they also called him the answer.
Oh.
Allen Iverson.
Mr. AI. Glad he got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Me too.
That needed that.
Now, changing it up real quick. I know it's a football-heavy podcast, but I'm gonna mix it up real quick. You said the franchise, and I immediately went pro wrestling, and I was like, Shane Douglas. Now, CM Punk
Get out of
at
here.
UFC.
Oh boy.
I knew for a fact that was going to happen. I knew for a fact
That I was gonna bring this up, or
Oh,
that?
no,
That we knew that CM Punk was gonna just like get his ass handed to him.
Yeah, I knew for a fact he was going to eat all of the shit in the world.
Dude, when I saw the first footage, and I saw that guy rush him.
He didn't even really rush. You know what it looked like? You play video games.
Well, yeah, but
It looked like when you see someone lagging and they're running at a wall. That's straight up what it looked like.
That's another thing. Like, but the thing is, I think that CM Punk did not realize the velocity of coming at, like, you know what I mean? Like, because in WWE, it's all staged, but like they all know what they're doing, but it's still like the moves are real. You know?
I like that you said staged. I'm not the biggest wrestling fan anymore, but if you say wrestling is fake, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's not fake in the sense of them slamming each other to the rim. I'm talking about it's staged where the story is
scripted,
furthermore, if you're gonna be one of these assholes that dogs somebody for liking wrestling, is like, oh, you like a fake show, you go ahead and tell me when the fuck Sons of Anarchy took place in real life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go fuck yourselves.
No,
that's all I'm gonna
Tom
say.
Cruise is not really a spy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's really like what is it, like the HBO show I can't even Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Jesus, everyone.
Yeah.
Zombies. Are they dragons?
So
Who gives a shit?
Unless those shows are real, don't fucking dog somebody for liking wrestling.
Yeah.
I've recently been sort of getting back into it because you're into wrestling. We watch SummerSlam, and a couple of friends of mine are really into the.
I've actually been to Raw and SmackDown 3 times.
Did you see? I'm sure you didn't, but UFC that CM Punk fight was Saturday night. Sunday, WWE had their pay-per-view Backlash. It was.
You're talking about that Miz Dolph Ziggler.
Miz Dolph Ziggler. Did you see that shit
I saw it on Facebook.
he rushed him the same way Dolph takes him down, then just shots to the head, straight hands, and then elbows, and then rear naked, like boom. Like, I love that they took a little jab at that.
I've worked with an MMA website for the last 4 or 5 years. We've done everything we can to make this sport seem as legitimate as possible because it's not viewed that way by a lot of people. It's still viewed as what they call human cockfighting or human pit bull fighting, which pisses me off to no fucking end. It's a huge difference. The biggest difference being consensual fighting, combat sports, consensual sex,
which is always good.
Athletic commissions, regulations, rules, health policies, safety policies. You know, there's a whole bunch of shit that goes into fighting. What the UFC did by bringing in CM Punk, the UFC, the premier fighting organization in the world, was like basically show that this isn't really as legitimate as you thought because here's a freak show fight. That hasn't been around since fucking UFC like 4.
Well, besides watching, like, you know.
Now, what I will say is I'm not big into UFC. Me personally, I prefer just watching boxing. I prefer boxing over UFC.
I think boxing is
and one thing
sport.
I don't agree with in UFC is it is. I get the athleticism and it's mixed martial arts. You have to look for anything. You know, you don't know what's going to come your way.
You never know you're going to get choked out. You never know if the guy's going to knock you out.
All right, now this is just my opinion. I think I'm one of those people that thinks that checkers requires more skill than chess.
You must love being wrong, like you told Steve earlier.
What I mean by that is with chess, you have to think and be aware of so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
In checkers to lose, I'm going to make one move and that's it. Boxing, with UFC, with MMA, it's, oh, you don't know what I'm going to do. I might do this, I might do this, I might do that. With boxing, it's, no, I'm just coming straight hands. Like it's defend yourself against one thing as opposed to, defending yourself against 18 things is a lot different than defending yourself from one. Now, where I'm going with that is one problem the only problem I have with UFC is, okay, there's two. No, I feel like it's overhyped.
Can be.
It's overhyped in terms of you have these, 2-hour pre-shows for a pay-per-view. And, oh, it's going to be like this, and this is going to happen. And I fucking hate Joe Rogan. And, oh my God, and this, and this, and this. And then you watch the match, and you're like, it's kind of boring. Like, you got my dick hard for 2 hours, and then just like, oh, well, that was it.
Damn, for 2 hours.
There it is.
Go check a doctor.
That's one thing. The second thing that I don't like, that I don't agree with, is in boxing, you hit a knockout shot, that ref knows. I know it, you know it, he knows it. All 14,000 people in this arena know that guy's out like a light. Mm-hmm. And immediately the ref is like, nope, that's it. I don't agree with UFC or MMA when, boom, you can see that guy's out like a light. And then you just jump on him and hit him 26 more times. And then the ref's like, all right, now it's over. No. You knew the second he went limp or went stiff and just
yeah.
There is no need to jump on a guy and deliver 13 extra blows before the referee goes, you know what? Okay, now is enough.
I 110% agree with you, which is why I'm a big purveyor in the referees. You have refs that like Big John McCarthy, Herb Dean, that are very quick about it. They all make mistakes, but they're very quick about it. If they see someone goes down, they're immediately looking at him. And if they see that the eyes are rolling back or something's that they jump on it immediately.
Call it. We're done here.
Now, when it comes to the simplicity of boxing where it's just hands, boxing is just as complicated as mixed martial arts.
Oh, no, it is.
They call it the sweet science for a reason. That's a hard sport to get into.
Yeah.
Which is why I believe a lot of guys hop into mixed martial arts, which is because you can be somebody like a Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida is a Taekwondo fighter, and we all love to make fun of Taekwondo. He's I believe it's called Shotokan or something like that. Can't really remember because I haven't seen him in a while. But
I actually like Machida.
Amazing guy, amazing guy.
I thought he was one of the great fighters.
He is. He's a legend in the sport.
I think so.
But it's easier to get it's a lot easier to get a black belt in in Taekwondo than it is to get a coach to say you are ready for a boxing match.
Yeah.
A lot easier to do.
Now, what I will say is two things: a quick anecdote, and then my third complaint against MMA. Quick anecdote: I don't remember who the fuck it was getting interviewed in some radio show, and the host asked him, "What hurts more, a shot to the head or a body shot in boxing?" And the boxer goes, "The body shot, because you don't know when it comes." He goes, "If it's a shot to the head, I can see." And he goes, "I've had fights where, okay, here we go. He's doing this. We're moving this way. I'm doing this. Here comes a jab. He's setting up the right. Where did his left hand go? Boom! Oh,
right in the
fuck!
right in the
That's where it went. Like, and he goes, that's a scary thought when you're like, okay, there's his hands. Where did the left one go? And then you feel it, and there's, oh shit, like." Oh, okay, we're gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
All right. Steve-O?
To tell you the truth.
No, I was gonna say
I don't know what you're
or are
talking
we out of
about.
beer? If we're out of beer, that's fine.
Oh no, but we have liquor. But I mean,
I'll take a little liquor.
I mean, if you want anything on the rocks is fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. So what are you guys talking about the football? Because I always tell you the truth, I was taking a piss.
No, we're talking about UFC and my problems with MMA right now.
Yeah. I tell you the truth, I mostly follow it whenever, because usually there's a lot of big fights. McGregor's been.
Oh yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a UFC hater. I will watch the fights. I will watch.
Like you said, I love boxing, and I was like, a lot of times, I still want Mayweather to fight someone, that's gonna get him pummeled at least, because that guy runs away, but I want someone to knock him out. I'm waiting for a Mayweather knockout. In my life.
My third problem with MMA has nothing to do with the sport itself.
Okay.
It's Joe Rogan.
Everything to do with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
The same way that Cowboy fans don't know shit about football, the average MMA UFC fan is a douchebag.
Yeah.
Fred, I can respect because he understands fighting. He understands the science behind it. He understands the training, the technique, and all the work that goes into it. The average UFC fan is just like, fucking yeah, man, he kicked his ass. Fuck yeah, man, I fucking do the same shit at the bar on Saturday if you look at me wrong. The average MMA fight fan is a douchebag and a moron.
On the page, we call them casual fans and we call them Just Bleed fans, because there was one guy at a UFC pay-per-view who had Just Bleed painted on him. He's freaking out and he's like, yeah, and all the veins in the, he's, I'm fucking roaring it up. I got cocaine and whiskey. He's like vascular as fuck. He's got veins on his veins. He's freaking out and whatever. And those guys don't know jack shit about fighting.
The other thing to that is that being a comic, I'm always looking for jokes, and generally, MMA fans, UFC fans have zero sense of humor. I got into a fucking Facebook/Twitter war with someone a couple of years ago because I had seen an article about 4 and 5-year-olds being trained for MMA. And when I saw it, I was like, that's not cool. Like,
it's not.
Especially since they're being trained by these, like, okay, like the dad that you see at the Little League game yelling at the kids, there's a reason he's not the coach.
Yes.
The problem with MMA is that you have 4 and 5-year-olds that are being trained by that douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And they're teaching them wrong, and they're teaching them the opposite of sportsmanship. And I commented on Facebook about that, and I had an MMA nut, one of these tap-out wearing fucking MMA junkies, basically threatened to kick my ass because I posted a joke. And the joke was, this is unacceptable. To be teaching 4 and 5-year-olds to fight to the death, that is what is wrong with society. Obviously, I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
Obviously, I
know facetious.
You're not training 4 and 5-year-olds to fucking murder each other. And that joke went completely over this guy's roided out fucking head. And I was like, well, this guy's gonna kick my ass. Like, he's gonna come after me like some fucking roided out beast because he doesn't know how to laugh.
Very true. And honestly, if MMA, you're looking for a joke, CM Punk's fighting career. Fuck that guy. I saw his training videos. Like I said, I'm a journalist in the sport, so I saw his training videos. Like, well, he sucks. He's gonna get his ass kicked. And then I have people on the page that are like, oh, CM Punk's gonna be amazing, just like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, my ass.
Brock Lesnar has one of the most cherry-picked careers in mixed martial arts that I've ever seen.
The only thing about him is I'll tell you that he the first time he actually fought, everybody knew right away like what the fuck. But then when he came in again. And like did his, I mean, come in, that guy is like 290, dude. Like, that guy is gonna just tumble.
But Brock Lesnar has something CM Punk does not have: NCAA wrestling championship, national championship.
He has something else that CM Punk doesn't have. That's size. Size in the heavyweight division. Now his MMA career is one of the most cherry picked and padded records I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. He fought a no name person in Japan. Fought Frank Mir and lost. Frank Mir is one of the biggest gatekeepers in the heavyweight community, or in the heavyweight division, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the heavyweight division in the UFC has been historically one of the weakest divisions in all of mixed martial arts in their respective spot. You've got your Tim Sylvias, your Andrei Arlovskis, your Randy Couture's, and that's about it. You can throw in a Pedro Hizo and a Rico Rodriguez every now and then.
That's why he's so big in WWE, because like
he's huge.
Yeah, because he's huge and his attitude, like, it automatically makes assume that everyone's gonna get Suplex City.
Yeah, But let's be real. In mixed martial arts, Brock Lesnar fought 2 guys that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cain Velasquez, Alistair Overeem. Both those guys Suge Knighted that motherfucker within the round. And that's no bullshit.
And both times he went running right back to the WWE.
Yeah.
Because that was the moment that he noticed, because those guys are, I mean, those, anyone.
And people can bring up the Mark Hunt thing and that he beat Mark Hunt. First off, Mark Hunt's shitty against wrestlers. That's just fact.
What about his brother Mike?
That's a good one. Mike Hunt, yeah. Took me a second, you bastard. But
is Mike Hunt here?
Oh god.
But Mark Hunt, he's shitty against wrestlers. Brock Lesnar, that's a wrestler. Brock Lesnar also did something that, Mark Hunt's never done. He pissed hot. And people can sit there and say, oh, he was just pissing hot for estrogen blockers. Those are maskers for other performance-enhancing drugs and testosterone. So let's not bullshit. He's on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has to be.
So that loss on Mark Hunt's record very soon is going to turn into a no contest. So Brock Lesnar, one of the most padded records in MMA. You want a fucking wrestler who's got an okay record against competition that's very comparable to him? His name is Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Say Dan the Beast Severn.
Dan the Beast Severn
is not all that
great man.
He fought in mixed martial arts when mixed martial arts was in its infancy, when it was very much taekwondo against kung fu, jiu-jitsu against boxing, and this and that. Now it's a mixture of different styles and shit. But I'll never take away anything from Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock, both of them very, very good fighters. Not so well in their later careers, but there isn't any fighter besides Floyd Money Mayweather that really does good, and even later in his career.
Yeah.
And by the way, people, I hate Money Mayweather to death.
So do I. Can't stand him.
But you cannot deny that is the greatest boxer that's ever lived. You can't. Look at his resume.
True.
Steven, would you Xerox that resume to me, please?
Do it.
Ola? Whose resume?
His resume consists of more big names than anybody else's resume. He's never lost. I hate the guy. I hate the fucking guy.
Who?
Floyd Money Mayweather.
That's true.
I hate the guy.
Still hasn't lost.
No, and he's not going to.
He's gonna die undefeated, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and it's gonna kill me.
You don't think he'll ever take a fight that he might lose?
He'll never take a fight that he's gonna lose because nobody has a style to beat him. The only person that has a style that could beat him.
What? He can run away faster than anybody?
He doesn't run away. That's just it. He boxes.
Yeah, he
people
jukes.
love
He
to
jukes.
people love to confuse boxing with fighting. They're two completely different sports.
I understand.
The art of boxing is to hit and not get hit.
Yeah.
That makes
And
Floyd
he's the
Money
best at not
Mayweather
getting hit.
the best boxer in the world.
He's the best at not getting hit.
That's true. I never
His
thought of that
defensive
like
style
that.
was so goddamn
because
good.
I played the games, and I remember playing them, and the best one was I don't know, have you ever played
Round 3, baby.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Round 3 was because
Mike Tyson's
the
punch up?
juking
No,
in there
that
was
was
so
great.
precise. So precise that I was like, it got me to be like, wow, you can not get hit if you tried, and then to move their
You have to parry the fight, the punches and shit. Well, the only person in my opinion that had this style that could beat Mayweather, but he wasn't in the same division, and he, honestly, he was 10 years late. Roy Jones Jr.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roy,
He was the one in that game that every time you pick him or you pick it didn't matter.
that elusive style puncher with heavy hands. I loved watching him fight. You know what fucked him over? He started jumping weight classes.
That's true. He went to 2 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, he went to 3 of them.
Yeah, because I remember you could play when you were playing the game with him, you can be 3 different ones and it would be
Middle,
Roy
heavy,
Jones
and
Jr.
heavy.
every time. Yeah, every time.
The thing with Floyd Mayweather is he is so good with his defensive style at frustrating the other fighter, and so much to the point where they start making dumb mistakes. It happened with Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
You make a dumb mistake because you're frustrated.
Yep.
You're frustrated, you leave yourself open to something, and boom, that's it. This fight's done. And then he is so good, like I said, it's so good at frustrating the other guys, and they start getting sloppy, and the fight turns comical.
Yep.
It starts with Mayweather doing just flawless boxing for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and the rest of it, he's running circles around a guy, and he is just guys are lunging and slipping, and it turns into something comical, which again, the average quote unquote fan of a sport, the average person watching an MMA fight or a boxing match or something, they want to see blood and they want to see chingazos. They don't want to see.
Yep.
They don't want to see technique.
Exactly. Which is what kills me. with Mayweather fans or Mayweather people that watch Mayweather fight. He's running. No. He's using footwork and elusivity to get the fuck away from punches, which is what you're supposed to do. That you name me one boxer that takes 7 punches to give 10, I'll show you a shade boxer. You show me a boxer who gives 10 punches and takes 2, I'll show you a successful boxer.
True.
You show me a boxer that gives 10 punches, takes none, I'll show you Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And that's fact.
One of those guys who was the same way, who was very elusive and very good at frustrating other people, was Oscar De La Hoya. And
Yes,
when he
sir.
and when he decided, there was one fight particularly where he was trying to be more aggressive. It was Pacquiao, and Pacquiao put him down.
Yes.
It wasn't even close. For every 2 punches that De La Hoya would get, Pacquiao would hit him with 6 or 7 or 8, and that was a mistake on De La Hoya's part because he got away from that game plan of defense and defense. Instead, he thought, you know what? The best defense is a good offense. Let me attack Pacquiao, and Pacquiao made him look like a fucking idiot.
I tell you.
Are you cooking something, man?
Not cooking
something.
anything.
Smelled burnt, and now something's beeping.
What the fuck are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, dude. It's
Okay.
a time bomb. Don't even know.
How did you get a microwave oven in the studio here?
You know what? I have talent.
All right, now that we've covered a nice array of sports, because boxing, mixed martial arts, a little bit of basketball, some football. I'm going to bring this right back to football. How fucking cursed are the Browns?
The Browns are fucking cursed.
Is it just because it's a bad name? I don't
even know.
Seriously, like the person who thought like the Browns, and then like that now that the major joke is I'm gonna take the Browns to the Super Bowl, is like, you know, everyone doing bowel movements. You know, like it's just like
it's funny because the Browns, they made a great move this year. They picked up RG3. People laugh at that move, but RG3 proved that he was a solid quarterback choice. But he had
how they do for opening.
Well, RG3 is now on injury reserve.
So the
He
Browns
gets hurt.
already
He's
did
got a
the
broken
Browns
shoulder.
did the Browns play their first game already?
Yeah,
Or they-
everyone played their first game. This isn't like basketball, man. On Sundays, everyone plays. Unless they're playing on Monday or Tuesday. Or Thursday, I'm sorry.
So then who they play?
They played the Eagles, correct?
The Browns did play the Eagles.
Yes, they played.
Oh,
Yeah, they
wow.
played
How was that
Carson
game?
Wentz. Well, it was a routing. It was the Browns getting their main quarterback hurt and scrambling for something else. And the Eagles, Carson Wentz, who the Rams did not take, did pretty good. Yeah, fuck him. Fuck the Rams. I love the Rams, but fuck them, dude. I'm so mad at them right now.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you have 11 possessions and end with 9 punts and 2 interceptions? That pisses me off to no. Fuck Jeff Fisher. Fuck Jeff Fisher right in his tight puckered asshole. I'm
That's
so
so-
mad.
I just was saying, like, you know, like Browns playing the Eagles. So the Browns lost to the Eagles.
Yes, sir.
The Browns as a franchise are
Terrible.
yeah. I'm looking at Browns draft picks for the last few years,
Good God.
and they miss on a lot of them, and a lot of them that they actually hit on no longer there.
Yeah.
This year, I'm not going to count this year's draft picks because we don't know how that will pan out. But let's go back. 2014, first round, Justin Gilbert.
Crap.
Not even there anymore. Not even there anymore. First round pick,
Gone already.
gone already 2 years ago, Pittsburgh Steeler.
Wow.
The second first round pick in that year, we all know, Johnny Manziel,
Gone.
out of the league.
Trash. I'd give Tebow a chance before giving
Yeah,
Manziel a chance.
it's ridiculous. First round pick in 2013, Barkevius Mingo, no longer a Brown.
Crap. Also.
First round pick in 2012, Trent Richardson. Crap.
Correct.
These guys cannot draft for shit. They had another first round pick that year as well, Brandon Whedon.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at these guys.
When did they draft Joe Hayden?
Joe Hayden was 2010.
Solid guy.
He is solid. That's the one that they hit on. But you're looking at. I'm looking at these guys. The 2000. What? Hold on. Let me see. 2011 draft. Fourth round, Jordan Cameron. That's a solid dude. Not even there. Seattle.
Cameron. Jordan
Tight end. Seattle.
Yes.
Buster Screen in the 5th round.
Not even in the league anymore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how bad the Browns draft. I don't recognize any. Brady Quinn, 2007. Yeah.
Brady Quinn showed so much promise, and then he went to Cleveland. Brady Quinn was a solid quarterback in Notre Dame. Anyone else?
No, I'm looking at here. It's ridiculous. This is going back to 2006. Cameron Wimbley,
won that day.
DeQuell Jackson.
No, I'm thinking of Deshaun Jackson.
Dickwan. That's a great name.
There's some great fucking names in the NFL.
Dickwan.
But basically, they don't draft for shit. Someone in the front office is just
Playing darts.
playing with themselves what they're doing.
But yeah, that team is that Jesus. And then RG3 went to that team, and I thought, damn, he's gonna bring a winning attitude because the guy's
needs
good.
to learn how to slide.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. You know who else does? Tony Romo
Tony Romo
takes bad hits. That's why he gets hurt.
Tony Romo was that naked guy in the Operation board game.
I'm waiting for the time when they're like, Tony Romo just broke his right. And that's just all they say. Because his entire right side is just gone. Like, I'm just waiting for that day.
I don't know. Going back to circling back to something we mentioned earlier, I said if Dak Prescott is playing well and has him in a winning record, do you give Tony Romo back his spot when he comes back? I say no. I say stick with Prescott.
You can't judge how he'd do in the playoffs. You can judge how Romo would do in the playoffs. You give Tony Romo a winning team, you put him in the playoffs, that boy's gonna win. That boy's gonna win you some games.
You give him back, and you get him back. He's frail. You risk another injury, and now you've gotten Dak Prescott out of the starting lineup, and you've gotten him out of his rhythm, especially if he starts winning ball games. Now, all I'm going to say about, do you stick with the veteran or do you go with the hot hand at rookie? 4 words: Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady. Now, I know that's a big stretch to say right now. However, it's easy in 2000 for the Patriots to say, well, no, I mean, Drew Bledsoe's the guy. He's our starter. That's his spot.
I'll give you 4 other words. Brock Osweiler, Peyton Manning.
All right, fair enough. Point taken. Point, counterpoint.
You have to give it to what you know in the playoffs. You have to give it to what you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you don't, you're the Raiders. That's just how it goes. Because the Raiders are one of those teams.
But that's a no-win situation because if the Cowboys can somehow make the playoffs, if you start Prescott and they lose, you have all the criticism of you should have gone with Romo. Mm-hmm. You start Romo and he loses, you have all the criticism of you should have stuck with Prescott. That is an unenviable position. I would not want to have to make that decision. That's why I'm not an NFL coach.
I would
throw my hair out.
I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
No, I don't think so either. This is a totally fictional scenario because they're not making the playoffs.
I think the defenses have too much on secondary this year in the East for the Cowboys to make it. Which brings me to something that I've been dying to say on record somewhere. How about Josh Norman laying a fucking goose egg after getting $35 million fucking dollars, like I said he was gonna do when he got picked up by the Redskins, and I said that the only reason he was any good was because Carolina has a cornerback-friendly system. Mm-hmm. That boy kicked so much ass last year because of that system. He's not talented. They love to bring up the Odell Beckham game, the Giants-Panthers game. Did we forget that Odell Beckham caught 7 passes a game on Josh Norman and caught 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of town.
No shit.
I love these fucking losers. I can't stand Josh. Josh Norman, in my opinion, is just as bad as fucking Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman loves to say he's the best defensive back in the game. Motherfucker, you're not the best defensive back on that team. Earl Thomas III is 3 times the fucking player that goddamn Sherman is. Sherm Sticky is nowhere near as good as ET3. ET3 is a beast. I hate Seattle. I love ET3. That boy hits, that boy catches, that boy reads, he defends, he blitzes. I'm guaranteeing you he could throw a touchdown pass if he wanted to. That boy's a monster.
Well, the way Russell Wilson played on Sunday, I would say he
played what?
ET3's a safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
The way Russell Wilson played Sunday, I would think that Thomas might have a better chance at playing quarterback than Russell Wilson.
ET3 is so good he could throw that ball and catch it for a touchdown.
Bugs Bunny style, just, yeah.
Yeah, that guy is a monster. So yeah, fucking every one of you fucking people that told me that I was dumb for saying that Josh Norman was overrated, go ahead and suck on my nutsack is all I'm saying, because I've been saying it. I've been saying it, that he's overrated. I've been saying that Sherm Stakey's overrated. I loved last year when the fucking Seattle Seahawks played the Packers. And fucking, what's his name? The second string fucking receiver for the Packers ate that boy up. Mm-hmm. Because Sherm isn't good at man. He's not good at playing the receiver.
Nope.
But we've gone long as shit here, so I'm gonna bring it down to the ending segment of this podcast, which is the picks. We're gonna get to see who sucks dicks and who doesn't. The first game, we got the young Bills against the young Jets.
Huh.
That's a good game. That's gonna be a good game.
That's a toss-up. That's a pick-up game. That's a pick-em game right there. Damn.
Jets didn't play too bad this last week.
No, they didn't.
It was a good game.
You have no idea.
Yeah. I really don't. But I heard it from my father, who is a big Jets fan.
Yeah, the Jets played decent this last week. Granted, they're both 0-1.
Yes, but see, that's I don't know.
You gotta pick one.
If you think about quarterback play, do you go with Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Of course you go with Ryan Fitzpatrick over fucking Emmanuel, whatever the fuck his name is. No, wait, who's the Bills quarterback now?
Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor, yeah. I was thinking Emmanuel Sanders. Isn't that a fucking, like, receiver or
Yeah,
something?
you were thinking E.J. Manuel.
Yeah, E.J. Manuel's what I was thinking.
No, in that one, I'm going to go ahead and go... I go Jets.
Jets, me too. I 100% go Jets. Because, I mean, dude, as much as I hate Ryan Fitzpatrick for sucking dicks in St. Louis, guy was decent last year. He was real decent.
Yeah.
And you got Eric Decker on that team. You can't go wrong with that. And I believe Revis Island is back in fucking New York, isn't he?
Yes, but he ate a dick. He got burned all day long last Sunday, so no, I don't know. Are you fucking cooking Hot Pockets or
This
bagel
motherfucker
bites?
is like in a studio cooking food, making noise.
You know, it's funny that I don't know how I did it, but the ecosystem in this studio is amazing.
The
right.
ecosystem?
I swear to God, everything's living
The
in this place.
ecosystem. Next game, the Panthers and the Niners.
I don't have too much faith in Chip Kelly's offense. I think that Monday night was a fluke. I still got to go with Panthers are the best team in the league. Got to go Panthers.
It was a fluke.
100% the Panthers are going to beat the fucking Niners.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers are not the Rams. So, by the way, JR did pick the Bills and JR did pick the Panthers. I'm going to be keeping track for him too.
Okay.
I believe he was on cocaine for some of his lesser picks, but that's beside the point. Next, we got the Cowboys and the Redskins. We get to see Des Bryant against Josh Norman.
Yeah, no, that's overmatched. I think Prescott looks better that game than he did on Sunday, on week 1. So as much as it pains me to say, because I'm about to put up with Cowboy fans, Cowboys take that one.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to say it, I think they're going to win that game too. The quarterback for the Skins, what the fuck is his name? That motherfucker. You like that? You like that? What was his name? Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he's not as good as people think he is. He's playing against Orlando Scandrick, who's healthy, and Sean Lee at linebacker, who's healthy. The Cowboys showed one thing last week, and one thing that they can do is they can defend on the outside. And Deshaun Jackson isn't the same Deshaun Jackson that played in Philadelphia, so 110% that is going to be the Cowboys. Next game is the Steelers and the Bengals. That's going to be a good one.
That's a good game. I'm definitely going to be flipping over to see that.
That's
a hard pick. Cincinnati has a good defense, but they lost some parts. Wallace Gilberry's not there anymore. I don't know if that affects their ability to put pressure on Roethlisberger, who stands tall in the pocket. He's hard to hit to begin with. As long as Pittsburgh's offensive line can keep him upright, I think he hits Antonio Brown all day, and I go Steelers.
I had a lot of faith in the Bengals when it was T.J. Houshmandzadeh and Chad Johnson and Carson Palmer.
Yes.
I lost a lot of faith in that team. And then they picked up Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is one of the most blandest, amazing quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen his hype-up speeches?
No.
Guys, we're going to do great out there. Team on one. You know? But man, that's a rivalry game.
That is a rivalry division game, and being a former Titans fan, former Oilers fans, I haven't experienced in the AFC Central before. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, those two go to war every time. Those are two teams that don't like each other. They're super familiar with each other. That's going to be a toss-up. I still give it to Pittsburgh.
James Harrison hits Andy Dalton 4 times that game. I got to go with the Steelers. Nothing I can say to change that. Next game, this one should be a good one for RT3. We got the Saints and the Giants. That's going to be an interesting game.
You need to see how St. Louis, what the fuck? New Orleans, I'm thinking Saints. Jesus. New Orleans. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. Are there any lingering effects after that meltdown they had against the Raiders?
Oh, God.
As much as I hate to say it, you brought up earlier Eli Manning. He's solid. Beckham, he's
Beast.
the best. He's one of the best receivers in the league. Victor Cruz is playing back to form.
Good. Amazing.
I think that offense is too much. I think it does turn into a shootout, though. But I got to go with the Giants.
Let me tell you why I've got to go Giants. And so far, I apologize for the boring-ass picks. Because aside from the Bills-Jets game, look at this fucking losers fucking Snapchatting over here. The reason the Giants win, and it has nothing to do with Eli, has nothing to do with Odell or Victor Cruz. The reason the Giants win that game is because Janoris Jenkins and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie.
Yeah, that secondary is...
You don't throw on them. And you're not going to run against them, as Ezekiel Elliott learned. Next game, fuck me, I don't even got to ask. Patriots versus the Dolphins. You and I are both going Patriots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This pisses me off. This team has the fucking worst division in football, and then people have the fucking audacity to be like, can you believe Peyton Manning won his 13th division title last year? It's like, oh yeah, he's been in the same division for 13 years. Of course he won that fucking
Tom
division
Brady.
title. Fucking, yeah, what did I say?
Peyton.
Fuck Peyton Manning too. He's not a Ram. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady.
I hate Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning,
That's
he's
a weak
retired.
division.
He's
They're
obviously
sitting
making commercials
high up
about it.
on that division, and yeah, no, it's not close. We mentioned Miami. We like Jarvis Landry, but Belichick is a good system so much he can just plug any quarterback they plug in. Fucking has success.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when Brady went down, Matt Castle just stick him in there, and there he gets success, and he goes somewhere else.
11 games.
Yeah, he goes somewhere else and doesn't prove it. This year, Garoppolo, he looked good. That's a good looking man too. He's pretty.
That's gay.
That's a pretty man. No, yeah, Patriots take that.
Patriots take it all day. As much as I like Jarvis Landry, I think I would have given them a little more room if they would have to do good if they had kept Lamar Miller. I cannot believe they let go Lamar Miller, especially when you have fucking what's his face Appletree. What the fuck is his name?
Tannehill,
that guy. Fucking, I don't know why I thought of Johnny Applegate.
Applegate. Now you're just changing shit up.
Yeah, the fucking A&M quarterback and shit. But yeah, Tannehill's I don't think he's that good. I think Jarvis Landry makes him look really good. I cannot believe they let go Lamar Miller. Great addition to the Texans, by the way. But they did pick up Arian Foster. He hasn't looked the same as he did with the Texans.
But he didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad. He just doesn't look the same. But
yeah.
But you have fucking career season injuries, ending injuries, like the last 42 years or something like that. It's going to affect you. Next game, we got the Texans and the Chiefs. By the way, I went Patriots as well. We got the Texans and the Chiefs. This is going to be interesting because we don't know if Brian Cushing's going to play this game.
No, yeah. He, as good as he is, he has shown to be a little injury prone.
Yes, he has. So is your Davion Clowney.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So those are automatic question marks because even if they do start the game, you can't guarantee they're going to finish it. Being in the same division as the Texans, being a Titans fan, I think they're a beatable team. I think Osweiler showed flashes, but I think it's a work in progress. Kansas City riding high from that huge comeback against San Diego. I go Chiefs. However, Houston's at home. Now, it isn't the same home field advantage that, say, you would get at Arrowhead or you would get in Lambeau or you would get at Foxborough, but a team being at home that does say something about it. Ultimately, though, I think the Texans are a beatable team, and I think Chiefs riding high from that last win, I think they take it.
The Texans are a very beatable team. They're because there's not a lot of chemistry on the team right now. Vince Wilfork hasn't performed to the levels that the Texans were expected to perform at. But he's got a big crutch on him with J.J. Watt. We don't know if Brian Cushing's going to play this game. They do have a couple of safeties there that are pretty good. I can never remember their names. But I don't know, man. DeAndre Hopkins, Brock Osweiler throwing to him, and Lamar Miller did play very, very well.
I think it's gonna be closer than we think.
Yeah,
but I still say Kansas City.
As much as I want to go Chiefs, I think I'm gonna go Texans with this one. I think at home Lamar Miller, Brock, and D Hop pull it out. Me and JR both went with the Texans. By the way, JR's picks have been Bills, Panthers, Cowboys, Steelers, Giants, Patriots, and the Texans. Me and JR are both going Texans. Georgia's going Chiefs. Next game on the bill, you're going to love this one. It's the Titans versus the Lions.
I thought Tennessee looked very good in the first half. They shot themselves in the foot second half. They were rolling. First half, the defense was looking good. Dick LeBeau's defense was swarming. They were making plays. I would have liked to see more scoring, more touchdown-producing drives from Mariota in the offense, but I thought they looked solid. They controlled the game for the first half. Second half, they let it go. I think they right those wrongs this week. However, you're going against Matt Stafford in Detroit. That's a road game. It's going to be tough. I'm going to commit treason right now. I picked the Lions.
Treason.
You're going the Lions?
I'm going to lie for a second.
Let me tell you why the Lions aren't going to win this game. Because they're the Lions.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
The Titans, I'll be completely honest, the Titans surprised the shit out of this last week.
They played well, but they showed their youth. It's a young team, and it's a team that's still struggling with an identity.
I don't think they showed their youth. I think they showed a lack of chemistry in the second half of the game. When you start getting pressure, that's when you start seeing how your teammates perform. Mm-hmm. You have a new big name in DeMarco Murray there. Fucking that one receiver, what's his fucking name?
Which one?
That one that bounced off of that Charger last year and went for a fucking touchdown. Can't remember his fucking name.
Who are you talking about? Was he a Titan last year?
Yeah, he was a Titan last year.
Because we got Kendall Wright on the bench right now. He's hurt.
No, it isn't him.
He's not playing.
Fuck me.
We got rid of DGB. We traded him to Philly. As far as a rookie goes, Tajay Sharp looks solid. He's got a good chemistry with Mariota. He's turning into his favorite target already. Harry Douglas is a vet, played good. Andre Johnson had a terrible drop. He had an easy 6 points. Mariota hit him right in the hands, and it just bounced and then gone. And I was happy they brought in Andre Johnson, but after seeing that drop,
The Texans, Andre Johnson?
Yeah.
That guy? I thought he was a Colt. They let him go
Yeah, the Colts cut him, and there's a reason the Colts cut him, and it was because he had a sure six in and out of his hands. Hit him right on the fucking hands.
It kills me when I see pros drop, especially receivers, pro receivers drop ball like that. I'll give you the defense. You play defense for a reason. You know your hands aren't as good as receivers, but if you're a receiver and you get hit in the fucking numbers, catch that goddamn ball.
Damn.
If it hits your hands, that should be a catch.
Absolutely, 110%. Unless you get hit right afterwards, there's no reason why you should drop a ball that way. Which is why I like guys like, ODB, D-Hop, Jarvis Landry, Jesus, I'm just blanking on all these fucking names today. Tavon Austin, he's my guy, and I can't fucking remember his name. So I'm going Titans. The reason I'm going Titans is because they're playing the fucking Lions. The Lions without Calvin Johnson looked like a very, very much handcuffed team.
I think the Titans showed promise, but they're gonna continue to show growing pains, and I don't think they take it.
No defensive line for DeMarco Murray to run against. That guy's gonna have at least 115 yards. It's gonna be a good one. Next game, by the way, JR also went Titans. Next game we have the Ravens and the Browns.
To use your argument, yeah, the Browns are going to lose because they're the Browns.
Because they're the Browns.
Yeah, no, I don't think Baltimore showed flashes. I don't think they looked that impressive. They weren't fantastic, but they're playing the fucking Browns. You got question marks at quarterback.
and running back and receiver and offensive line and defensive line and
it's a shit show. We covered the Browns. They are horrible. The
Browns have one position secured. That's Joe Hayden's cornerback position.
Yeah,
that's it. The Ravens. One of the reasons the Ravens haven't looked that great in these last couple of years, the Ravens are getting old.
Yes.
You know, Joe Flacco may not be the oldest guy, but his number one receiver, Steve Smith.
Yeah.
That boy's getting up there in age.
But the Ravens game plan will be, see Joe Hayden, don't throw it near Joe Hayden. That's it. The rest of the field, wide open.
Absolutely, 110%. JR as well picking the Ravens because JR is not on cocaine yet, but here we come. Rams versus the Seahawks.
I was really disappointed in Seattle. I thought I was really expecting more out of that offense. I think Russell Wilson is probably one of the best decision makers.
Absolutely.
And he looked out of sorts. He looked uncomfortable. The ankle didn't help when he got hit. He got that ankle sprain or whatever. That didn't help. What the fuck are you drinking? Chocolate milk?
You're asking for diarrhea. You were drinking beer earlier.
Oh yeah, and then now I have Bailey's and delicious chocolate.
The ankle didn't help. Supposedly he's progressing better. He should be good to go on Sunday. I was really disappointed in the Rams D.
Okay, San Francisco always plays
Rams D.
the Rams hard. They always play them hard. That's very much the Steelers and the Bengals of the NFC West. Fuck, I don't know. Who are you picking?
As much as I hate Pete Carroll, Seattle's too well coached. I think they bounced back from it. I think there's too many question marks for the Rams at quarterback. They're at home though, the Coliseum. As a fan, I hope the Rams come out and show me something and really, make that debut, that re-debut, the welcome back party in LA. I hope they make it big. As much as I wish that happens, I don't see it happening. I take Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, so I'm not committing treason because I'm a Rams fan. Do or die, blue and gold.
You'll take the loss. All right.
The reason that I think the Rams actually have a decent chance, if Miami with just Indomitians who can put pressure on Russell Wilson the way they did, Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, and Robert Quinn will. Alec Ogletree looked out of sorts, middle linebacker. Jeff Fisher, I hope you enjoyed the fact that you let go of fucking James Laurinaitis. James Laurinaitis, you know who he is?
Yeah, the son of Road Warrior Animal.
Yeah, I didn't fucking know that until like a year ago. But I seriously hope that every time that he fucking makes a tackle in St. Louis that Jeff Fisher dies a little bit inside.
I think Seattle. I think the Rams defense does play better this week. I think they bounce back. However, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't have faith in the quarterback position for the Rams. I'm even going to go out and say Seattle 16, St. Louis, LA 10.
If it's a low-scoring game, boy, oh boy, do we have a chance. Because we ain't scoring a whole lot of points. If all we got to do is score 15, 16 points, we're in it to win it. And we've been like that for the last few years. Last year, we were competitive in almost all of our losses because they were low scoring.
That's true. And you have a very good point there. How many points did they score on Monday night?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay.
We're not going to get
You know what? It wasn't 16, motherfucker. It was 28.
You can only hope.
I think the Rams, I think they bounce back defensively. I think a fired up Aaron Donald is going to put bricks to fucking Russell Wilson. I think Robert Quinn is finally going to come back from that hammy and the groin injury he had last year. I've been waiting for that to happen because that boy, Robert Quinn, is a fucking savage. I might be on cocaine too because JR picked the Rams and I thought he was on cocaine for picking the Rams.
Oh, God. You have to be on cocaine for that.
You have to after what we just fucking did. The Rams played the laziest fucking 60 minutes of football I've ever seen in real life on Monday.
People do that on cocaine?
Yeah. So, JR and me picking the Rams. George is picking the Seahawks because George apparently has a brain. Next
Good
up,
for him.
we got the Cardinals and the Bucks.
I like the Bucks. I kind of like Jameis Winston.
Fucking hate the Bucks.
But I don't think that the Cardinals' loss to the Patriots is an indictment on them at all. I think they're a solid team. They're at home, and I think that's going to make all the difference. The Bucs, I like them. They're good. I like Winston, but they're still too young. They're not. I don't think they're sure of themselves yet. I think Carson Palmer rebounds. He's had trouble with interceptions in the preseason, but I think that's a work in progress. They'll get it straightened out. I go Cards.
Carson Palmer over Jameis Winston all day, every day. Patrick Peterson over ha 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 on the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald over who the fuck knows who the fucking Bucs number one receiver is.
I don't think the Bucs know who they are.
The Bucs don't know who the number one receiver is. Fun fact, fuck the Bucs. The days of Rondé Barber are long gone.
Yes.
The days of Mike Allstott.
Mike Allstott was a fucking beast.
Yeah, he was. What the fuck happened to Cadillac Williams? The guy was a monster for a season and a half and then just disappeared. It's insane. But yeah, the Cardinals are going to have their fucking way with the Bucs all day, every day, that game. Next game, JR also picked the Cardinals because he's not retarded. Next to the Chargers and the Jaguars. You should know how scary the Jaguars are.
They're on an uptake. They really are on an upswing. They're getting better. One big thing for me in the NFL is momentum. I think I don't know if the Chargers can bounce back after that big thing. Keenan Allen done for the year.
Yup.
Got that ACL. That's done.
Shouts out to Keenan Allen for ruining Chargers' dreams in Week 1.
Yeah. I think that was a demoralizing blow for them. I think it did affect the team's psyche. I do like Danny Woodhead. I like people that they can use him out of the backfield. They can use him in the slot. They can rush him out and do stuff. But I don't think it's enough. And I think I think they're gonna suffer from that hangover still. They're still gonna be thinking about it. You lose a guy like Keenan Allen, and it does as much as they say no. Day by day, move to the next game. No, I think it's gonna have lingering effects. Like I said, we said you like the Jags. I fucking hate the Jags. I give them credit. I think they're talented. I think the Jags go into San Diego and take it.
I'm gonna pick the Jags. I'm gonna 100% pick the Jags because the Jags they look revitalized on defense. The days of Fred Taylor are gone. The days of Maurice Jones-Drew are gone. And as much as I think they'll win, I think Phillip Rivers is a much better quarterback than what's his face Bortles.
Mm-hmm.
But man, without a number one target to go to, Danny Woodhead's a great receiver. He's not a number one target.
No, he's not. Not at all.
Who's their running back? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a good day. I think this game is gonna be a lot uglier than a lot of people are anticipating.
Oh, it's gonna be a shit show. It's not gonna be good.
I think without Keenan Allen, Phillip Rivers is gonna be a lot more scrambly. He's gonna be throwing a lot more ugly passes. Brian Bortles doesn't know what a good pass is. But I do think at the end of the day, Malik Jackson holding up that defensive front. I think the Jaguars take that one. Close game. I'm willing to bet you it'll be another 1.3-point game.
Yeah.
But it'll be a solid game. JR is picking the Chargers because JR likes his crack. Next game we have is the Raiders versus the Falcons.
I am on the Raiders bandwagon. I honestly do think that, I was a lot more sure about it before I saw what Denver did, but I think the Raiders are a 10-win team this year. I think they make a push for the playoffs. I like the Raiders. I'm sold on Derek Carr. They look good, and they are riding high right now. They're playing with no fear. Jack Del Rio showing balls on that 2-point conversion on the road in New Orleans to win that ball game. Now they're coming at home. The Falcons played like shit this past week.
Yeah, they did.
They did not look pretty at all. As much as Matty Ice, it's past him. His time is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. Falcons didn't look good. I thought the Raiders playing no fear. Now they're going to be back in Oakland, their home opener. Raiders take it.
Man, I like Matty Ice. But Matty Ice has become Matty Rice. Because that boy's so wet, you got to put him in a rice bag and hope it dries out.
This is not Matty Ice from
5 years ago.
Yeah, this is not a 2010 Matty Ice. This
at
is
all.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sold on Derek Carr. But Derek Carr rips that poor defense apart.
Yeah.
The only reason I think the Falcons still have a chance is because of Julio Jones. Because Jesus Christ, that guy is springs on feet. Great hands, great route runner, great field vision.
Great ass. What?
Oh, wow.
But
He perks it up, doesn't he?
But at the end of the day, Steve-O, who are you picking for this game?
I tell you the truth, I am picking the Rams. Is that right? That feels good, right?
That felt
there?
good. That
Feels
felt
good, Fred?
Yeah, it did. Go fuck yourself. I think Jaleel Mack gets enough pressure on... Did you just fart?
No, I did not.
That was a juicy one. Had Bailey's and ice cream. Chocolate milk, or whatever the hell he's eating.
God, I wish I had some ice cream.
He just mudslided all over his pants.
Dude, for
right
real.
now.
It's a fuzzicle.
Again.
But I think Jaleel Mack gets loose enough, puts enough pressure on that defense, on that offensive line. I'm sorry, to cause just enough of a situation to where Matty Ice can't find Julio and they win that game.
Yeah.
So JR and you and I are all taking the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Next is why I think JR needs to at least go to rehab. We have the Colts versus the Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, easily. Simeon played great. He looked very good. He looked poised. He looked good under pressure. He was making good decisions. That offense looked good. The last three, and here's the thing about the Colts is that the AFC South is a weak division.
It is.
And
Not the weakest, but one of the weakest.
it's a weak division. People want to suck off the Colts. The media wants to suck off the Colts. And Andrew Luck. The Colts are a beatable team.
Yeah.
They showed it.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it week one. They're a beatable team. The last 3 or 4 years since Andrew Luck's been there, the offensive line has struggled to keep him upright. This is not the same offensive line that was keeping Peyton standing. This is they get beat. I think Von Miller is going to wreak havoc on that offensive line. I think Andrew Luck hits the turf a few times, and I got to go with Denver at home.
Of course, you have to go with Denver because of this simple fact: losing Malik Jackson, losing Danny Trevathan. It seemed like they were there on Thursday. They didn't have any problems getting to the quarterback. They didn't have any problems disrupting routes. They didn't have any problems stopping the run. And that's just with, it sounds bad when I say just with DeMarcus fucking Ware, Derek fucking Wolf, and Von goddamn Miller. Like, that's all you need. Mm-hmm. That defense still looks like it's going to take the NFL in the best defense of the year again.
Yeah.
Wow. That defense is ridiculously fast. When what's his name? Gannon said that he knew he had to quit because of Ray Lewis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quarterbacks are quitting now because of Von Miller.
Yes, Von Miller's a beast.
Von Miller is scary good. So JR is picking the Colts because JR loves his heroin.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have a good old rivalry division game: the Packers versus the Vikings.
Oh boy.
We got why.
Cheesehead versus the Vikings.
Vikings are debuting in that new stadium. It's their home opener. They played okay. They played okay in Tennessee. I think Tennessee won. The Tennessee lost that game because of their own mistakes. Tennessee lost that game. Minnesota did not win it. Adrian Peterson was bottled up. They held him down to something like 40 yards. It wasn't pretty. Basically, with no quarterback, the defense can just pin their ears back and focus on Adrian Peterson. Sean Hill didn't look good. There's question marks about who is he going to start? Is Bradford starting? If you don't have the top guy, your snake does not have a head. Mm-hmm. That's not a good way to go. The defense did play decent. They had a couple of turnovers, they weren't forced. It was Tennessee's own screw-ups. Aaron Rodgers has got Jordy back. It's
ridiculously easy to pick the Packers.
Yes, absolutely. Packers taking it. The Packers might be my NFC pick for the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a ballsy pick.
Wow.
The reason I think that's a ballsy pick is because I think this year Carolina comes in fucking spitting razor blades and lemon juice at everyone. But
that's going to be your NFC Championship. Is going to be
for sure
Green Bay, Carolina.
It's either that or the Giants, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's yes, the teams at home, but no, the Vikings, they don't know what the hell they're doing at quarterback. The quarterbacks don't know what the hell they're doing at quarterback. They still haven't named their starter for Sunday. They're splitting reps for the first team, but apparently from what I've heard, it's equal reps. Sean Hill and Sam Bradford.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have guys taking fractions of reps. You need someone as a dedicated starter. They don't know what the hell's going on. Green Bay's too damn good.
Yeah.
Packers take it.
Yes. The Packers struggled against the Jags. The Jags defense is a much more beefy defense than it was last year. I think Jordy Nelson coming back, giving Aaron Rodgers an exact target to hit is scary. And for the Vikings, how the fuck do you start Sean Hill over Sam Bradford? Sam Bradford, as much as I hate him because it seemed like if you breathed on him too heavy, he tore his ACL in St. Louis.
Yeah.
The guy's a proven commodity. When he plays, he's not average. He's slightly above average. He's not great. He's not good, but he's above average. Sean Hill is who?
Sean Hill on Sunday against the Titans was throwing the ball like Peyton Manning, just noodle arm, no arm strength.
I believe Sean Hill was fucking Sam Bradford's backup in St. Louis. That's all you need to know. He was his backup.
Yeah.
Why you start him above Sam Bradford? Why there's a question why you don't start Sam Bradford?
Now,
is insane.
The same reason that I say St. Louis, you draft Goff first round, you gave up something for him. You need to be playing him. The Vikings gave up a first round and a fourth round to pick up Sam Bradford. You don't give up a first round unless you know that guy you're getting is going to be your guy and moving forward.
Exactly. And he's not going to be their guy moving forward because Teddy Bridgewater is going to come back next year.
Exactly.
That is a poorly run franchise. The Packers are far from a poorly run franchise. They're a constant contender.
I like Sam Bradford. Is he worth a first and a fourth? Absolutely not. Not even close.
He's worth a low second, early third.
Yeah.
Easy. If you've got a high second, you're not taking him. You're not wasting that pick on him.
Nope.
The Packers go in there, win that game for sure.
Yeah. The Vikings have been taking as many drugs as JR has. The Packers take it.
Yeah, JR actually picked the Packers. Now, one of the other reasons that I think that it could come into question is because, like I said, rivalry game. Those teams tend to play each other like fucking oil and water. You know, they go at it and they go at it and they go at it. Eventually, somebody wins, but it's not because it's because of a mistake. It's never a win when it's a close game, and I think it's going to be a close game. It's never a win because somebody makes a play. It's a win because somebody fucks up.
Yeah.
Aaron isn't going to fuck up. Jordy isn't going to fuck up, and Clay Matthews isn't going to let that defense fuck up. So the Packers win that game. I think it's going to be a much uglier game than we think, but I think it's a Packers win. And the last game of the week that we are going to pick are the Bears versus the Eagles. Who do you got? Because that's going to be a great game.
Carson Wentz played good.
But Jay Cutler played better.
But it's Jay Cutler.
The guy with the strongest arm in the NFL.
Yeah, but Bears fans will tell you, yeah, but it's Jay Cutler. No, I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think Wentz can repeat that same performance as week one. As much as I don't like him, and I don't think he's really that good. Cutler, Bears at home. I take the Bears.
JR has picked the Bears as well. The reason that I'm going to go against both of you guys and actually pick the Eagles is as simple as this. Jay Cutler's got to worry about Rodney McLeod in the defense. Rodney McLeod is one of the most consistent players in the NFL. You can sit there and just call me a Rams mark all you want, but the guy played, I believe it's 4 seasons with us, never missed a game, doesn't really ever miss an assignment. He's on point, and he's a deep guy. Jay Cutler loves to throw it deep.
Doesn't he?
On top of that, you have a young Philadelphia team, and you have not a normal Bears defense. The defense in the Bears it's gone. The days of Brian Urlacher and Jay Peps.
However, okay, Carson Wentz played well week one, but you're talking the Eagles have arguably the worst receiving corps in the league. I think, to tell you the truth, I think maybe this past week was a fluke. I think the Bears at home.
They don't have the worst receiving corps in the league, and I'll tell you this because I'm a Rams fan. We have fucking Tavon Austin and Kenny Britt, and that's about it.
Kenny Britt, I've dealt with Kenny Britt.
Fuck Kenny Britt. I don't know what the fuck it is about Jeff Fisher and picking up old Titans, but Jesus Christ, does it not work out for us? Britt, Cook, get the fuck... Cook? What did Cook do for me for like 19 years?
Nothing.
I don't know how the fuck we drafted how old was he? What we drafted? We picked up what was he, like 24 years old? 25 years old? I don't know how the fuck we picked up a 24-year-old at the age of 30.
Jesus Christ.
It was ridiculous.
How did you do that, dude?
It was ridiculous. I think Wentz... Football is a game of momentum. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think Wentz keeps up with the momentum I don't think the Bears defense has the balls to go after people anymore. I really don't. I gotta go with the Eagles on that one. That's a hard one though. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a very good game. With that, we've got all of our picks for the games. This was supposed to be an hour and a half long podcast. We've now gone for 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Jesus.
But it was a fucking blast talking sports, dude.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I love talking. We even got you involved in the game with your basketball.
Which I'm not a sports guy, but I love basketball.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed. This will be out soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that was X's and Bros presented by your good friends Laredo Funny. We will catch you all on the flip side.
Good night.
Toodles.